From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football, the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for tonight's contest between the Bethel Bruins, who have a 4-2 overall record, and the Kecoughtan Warriors, who have a 1-5 record coming in tonight's contest. Bob, this has been, of course, it's a new year for, a new coach, I should say, for Kecoughtan. Tommy Austin over there, working his system in, getting used to the kids getting used to him. But I know later on we're going to talk about that in the interview, but
right.
His team is still upbeat about this, and I think they're going to win some games.
Well, I do too, because they, if you look at the statistics defensively, they're up in the upper echelons of defense holding the other team to yards gained. So, you look at potentially, and they've got some good athletes. So and I talked with the coach and I said, what else is going wrong? He said, well, we'd get a good run and then we'd be caught for holding, or we'd get a good run and we clipped. He says, so we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. And he says, we would do that when we're down close to scoring range. So instead of having a 1st and 10 on the 15, we had a 1st and 30 on the 35. So, that really deflates you, because now you've got a lot of yardage to pick up. You don't have the downs to do it, and they're not that good offensively yet. And I don't know if it's because of his program or the kids just haven't got into it. Defensively, they're doing a good job. Dan Thompson, they featured him, one of the assistant coaches where they featured today in the newspaper, has been a defensive coach for a long time, was with Kurt Newsom and then over with Heritage. So maybe that's why the defense is a little bit better. I don't know. But, you're as a coach, you say, one of these days the break's got to come our way, right?
Well, sure, and that's what happens. You'll have seasons when everything goes your way, and that's when you have a winning season. And when you don't, that's when you don't. I mean, there are crucial points in every game that decide the game. And when you're sputtering on offense, when you haven't gotten some of the things to click that they can, and then when you have an untimely penalty or a turnover, we saw that last week. Turnovers just kill you, and let's face it, most times on a team, your offense is going to be behind the defense as far as the quality that you play. Defense is easier to play than it is to make that fine oil machine work on offense. Now, he's got some good offensive players, though. I got a couple of guys I know you want to talk about.
Right, but before we do that, I do want to point out that defensively, you react to something. Offensively, you're trying to create. So defensively, you can do things a little bit different because you react. Yeah, but a couple of guys that I want to talk about is Alan Backus for the Warriors and Ananias Boyd, who they didn't know was going to get to play anymore because they thought he had a heart problem. Two good runners. And I think one of the things that's going to be the deciding factor is which one of these runners has a good night tonight. So you have to look at the offensive line. And I did this last week, but I think it's important to let the fans know over on the Bethel we have Norstein, Solomon, Lewis, Waterton, and Adams as your front five on offensively. Kecoughtan, Gaddis, McCormick, Corey C. Davis, Corey D. Davis, and Hammond. So these guys are the ones that's going to control that line of scrimmage. If they can get the jump on the defense, open some holes, Ananias Boyd and Backus can pick up some yardage, might make a difference in tonight's game.
And also you got the quarterback situation. Now you go back over to the Bethel Bruins. They've got a 2-quarterback system.
Right.
You got Jimmy Williams, who's been in and out of there. And, of course, we know what kind of athlete he is. In the Hampton-Bethel game, he was the only player that on offense stood out for the Bruins. So they bring some very athletic players to the field on offense.
Well, they really do. But you look at Kyle Franklin, young man can throw the ball. Sure can. So we're real impressed with him. You go over to Kecoughtan, they got two of Matt Cross and Terrence Thompson. Yeah. And Terrence tonight is going to play fullback. So now I'm thinking if I'm the coach and I got a fullback that can throw the ball, I might pitch it and he might, run a few, and then we got a option run or pass, right?
Well, if you're 1-5, why not try something? Where are you going to go from 1-5? You're not going to make the playoffs. So, and you're trying to excite the team. You're trying to get them to click and to get that momentum, I guess, for lack of a better word.
And sometimes a trick play will do that. Yeah.
Well, let's go back in time right now. Bob had a chance a little earlier to talk to head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins.
Coach, first of all, I know you got to be happy that Ananias Boyd got a clear from the doctor. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we're extremely happy. He came out, surprised us one day in practice and said I had to go to the doctor. I had a problem with my heart. And then he came back a few days later and said, well, the doctor sent him out and, I have to go to the cardiologist. And then he goes to the cardiologist and comes back and says I'm cleared. So we were hurt a little bit, but then we were happy.
Well, good. I know that's always a concern of coaches. And it's not because you miss him playing ball, but because of the young man. You don't want any injuries or have a heart problem or anything like that. Coming in tonight, what do you expect from this Kecoughtan team? They've only won one game, but defensively they're not ranked too low.
I tell you, they're a very good football team. They run the ball hard. They run the ball well. They got some good size up front, some good skilled kids. It's going to be a tough ball game for us. We're going to have to bring our A game.
Okay. And I know that you guys practice all week and you focus in on what you need to do. And you got another young man coming back at linebacker. I know you got to be happy about him.
Well, actually tonight is the first night of all the games we played that we've had all three of our captains dressed out at the same time. So we're extremely happy. They're key players for us, and it's a great opportunity for our team, and it's a great opportunity for those kids.
Good enough. Good luck for you tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Good enough. Let's go back to Tim.
Nice conversation with Tracy Parker, real nice fellow. Finally got him to turn a little bit towards the camera. They were kidding with him. Justin Wood, by the way, you and he talked about the linebacker. They were glad to get back. They got the three captains back, as he mentioned. Justin Wood is back, and that's the first time all season he's had all three captains healthy.
Well, Justin last year was a real great linebacker. I thought he was one of the better linebackers in the district, and to have him back is good. He suffered from a broken arm, but he's ready to go. I saw him over at Bethel when I was over there talking to Tracy, and he's fired up and ready to go. But, one other thing that we didn't talk about is special teams. No win tonight, so it's not going to affect the kicking game. So, if you have to punt the ball, is your team going to be able to cover? We know Jimmy Williams does a great job of running the ball back, can score on a punt or kickoff return. So, if you're a Kecoughtan, you're thinking, hey, we got to make sure we get the ball high enough our special teams gets down and stops him before he can make a cut.
Now, this Alan Backus for the Warriors, 604 yards in 6 games. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. Young man didn't think he would be an offense. He was a defensive player, but has shown that the more he carries the ball, the better he gets. And the Warrior staff is real pleased with him.
Well, we should have a good game. Right now, we're going to go back in time one more time as Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Tommy Austin of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, first of all, Coach, I know 1-5 isn't where you want to be, but when I talked the other day, very upbeat. Your team is not down. What a lot of people figure, you got 5 losses, you say, oh, what the heck, but your team's not that way.
No, we've been very pleased with the fact that the kids have kept a real good attitude, and they come to practice every day and work hard, and we know we're close. If we were 1-5 and had been getting blown out every week, I think it would be a little harder to come to practice for them, because I know, even as a coach, it gets tough when you're getting hammered every week. But we've been in every game we've played, and offensively we just haven't, we haven't gotten it done. And defensively we've been playing well, and special teams we've had some breakdowns. But the kids know that we're right there. We're competitive.
Well, and that makes a big difference for them to understand that they're not getting blown out. Right. But as you prepared for tonight's game, what do you look for Bethel to come to what do they bring to the table tonight?
Well, they're very athletic. They do a really good job. Coach Parker, they do a good job of getting them prepared, and they don't do a lot of different things. I mean, they run the ball well. When they do throw, they're very, with the 2 quarterbacks they have, 2 athletes there, they can do that very well too. And they run the option, very well, and they're pretty tough on defense. So it's hard to find anything that one thing you can pick that's a weakness, when somebody has that kind of athletes.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, good luck to you tonight.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
Okay, stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium, it's kind of difficult for us to hear, Bob, because I believe the referee's mic is open. And if we can get our direct thank you.
There we go. I thought I was picking up the band pretty good. I didn't know they were that close to us.
Yeah, 100 yards is pretty close, right? All right, tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms with 14 conveniently located peninsula locations. And in fact, by Pearls, located in Phoebus at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907. And in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home at Hampton Center Parkway at Armstead Avenue. Give them a call at 827-4670. Well, Bob, we have the Kecoughtan Warriors are the home team tonight. They are directly in front of us. And the Bethel Bruins team is coming on the field to our right as you look into the area. That looked like, was that Crystal Bell for a minute there?
Yes, it was. Sure was, Crystal. Tim, we will pick a player of the game for both of these teams tonight, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave Buckwalder, the owner, at 596-8850. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pecoughtan. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Give Dave Chubb a call at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner.
Well, as we mentioned in the pregame discussion, the Warriors 1-5, the Bruins 4-2. Here are the officials for tonight's contest. Our referee is Don Foreman. Mike Mann is the umpire. Mike Hextall is the linesman. The line judge is Mike Drusega. Scott Davis is your back judge, and John Barish is the field judge.
Y'all spread out just a little bit for me, just a second. Spread out just a little bit.
We'll listen in on the toss of the coin.
I have Captain Gaddis, Captain Davis, Captain Sumter, and Captain Lunsford. Guys, shake hands with each other. Guys, let's have a good football game tonight, a good hard-hitting football game. Guys, if you guys on Bethel or Kecoughtan see your teams acting in an unsportsmanlike manner, I'd like for you guys as captains to take initiative and stop that, okay? So we don't have to, okay? Bethel, you guys are the visiting team tonight. So I have a coin. That's the tail, gentlemen, and that's the head. I'm gonna flip it in the air. If you would, Captain, call heads or tails while it's in the air, loud enough for the umpire to hear it, okay? The umpire down there, all right? He has called a head, and it is a head. You've won the toss. You can defer you want your option this half, or you want in the second half? You want the ball, you want to receive. Which goal would you like to defend? That way? All right, you will kick the direction, okay? All right, put your backs to the goals you're defending. Bethel won the toss. We're receiving at this end. Good luck, guys.
For his informative pregame ceremony. As you heard, the Bruins won the toss and they will receive. There's virtually no breeze tonight. It actually is, as you see, our shot from high above the stadium. Tonight's contest brought to you, shot brought to you by Crow's Nest Photography. And that's about as we've been waiting for a evening out here when the wind wasn't blowing.
Right. All right, coming up with the Bruins on offense, Tim. And then we see the Bethel offense on center. We got North Stream. The guards are Solomon and Lewis. Tackles Waterton and Adams. The tight end Leto. The split end Keene. The wide receiver Eccles. The quarterback James Williams. We'll call him Jimmy tonight probably. Fullback Benson, and the tailback Ananias Boyd. And it's North Steen at center.
North Steen with an R?
North Steen. I get my tongue right here. Who we got kicking off?
Well, we've got kicking off, that's number 45, Ryan Miller, and he's kicking it to the 14-yard line. And this is Ananias Boyd.
Oh, he found a hole.
He got to the outside. He got a block, and he'll go all the way. There will not be anyone catching him. But do we have a flag down
over there by the 38, Tim?
There is a flag, and that's where the block was thrown, and it looked to be a pretty good block from here, but let's just see how they call that. If it does stand, That would be a 91-yard touchdown.
About 86, I think he said.
Was it the?
I think he caught it.
That's a clip, so it's not going to be a touchdown.
If we get a chance, we will show you the Kecoughtan defense.
All right. And here are the Warriors on defense. Their tackles are Davis and Sumter. Ross and McDonald are the ends. The outside linebackers are Mayo and Backus. Anderson and Bickla will be your inside linebackers. The corners are Green and Edwards, and the safety is Ralph King. And that fine return by the Bruins will be somewhat negated. They'll still have good field position at their 47-yard line, but Ananias Boyd did not get the touchdown as a result of a clipping call on the far side. That looked like a pretty good block.
Yeah, and Tim, what's even worse about it is that guy would not have caught Ananias Boyd.
That was just a make sure block, and unfortunately for the Bruins, it made sure that the touchdown didn't count. So the Bruins will start with Jimmy Williams at the quarterback. Out of the set, he will throw and complete the pass close to a first down. That's Curfew Spike, who
I think it's Spake. Yeah, that's all.
Correct myself right off the bat.
Tim, that was just a real quick hit, or just a slant. Caught him in about 6 or 7 yards and picked up 8. Or almost 9, I guess it is.
9 yards. Second down and a yard to go. Very quickly to the line of scrimmage. Williams pitches to the backfield. And this is Boyd, and Boyd gets the first down as he crosses the 40 to about the 39-yard line. So he picks up almost 4, and that'll give a first down to the Bruins. As you see our shot from above, and thank goodness the wind is finally cooperating, as we've been very anxious to show you a little different perspective of the ball game tonight.
If we can get the shot of that while they're lined up over the ball, you'll get an idea of the spacing and everything that goes on at the line of scrimmage. Tim, Allen Backus from his tight end, or from his defensive end position, almost made that play in the backfield that time, but just got brushed out of the way.
First down at the Kecoughtan 39. Williams rolling to his right, wants to throw downfield, gets away from one tackler, now throws the ball right into the chest of a pursuing Kecoughtan Warrior, which was a good play because he ends up not losing any yardage. Now he was looked like he was trying to throw back against the grain, but he hit the Warrior who was pursuing him right in the chest.
Well, actually, he did lose some ground, Tim. He may have stepped out of bounds before he threw it from where the spot is, but very interesting that you picked that up.
Well, he must have
it looked like he's like they do in basketball, knock it off your leg or something. I've never seen that in football, so I didn't know you could do that.
If that's in fact what happened, it's a good distance from here to there, but that's what appeared to be what he did. In any event, they ruled him out of bounds, so it's second down at about 13. Boyd gets the call and gets maybe 2, maybe not quite that much, as he is stopped at the 41-yard line. So it'll bring up third down and about 12 for the Bruins.
What's that young man?
Vance, I would say it's Biala.
Biala in on a tackle. I'm calling
again,
Vance tonight.
Yeah.
Number 30.
B-I-E-L-A will Biala. And again, we apologize in advance if we don't pronounce the young men's names correctly. It's, believe me, it's not intentional. Williams has plenty of time. Now he gets in trouble, and he does get it away. He's got a receiver, and he
How
is
in the
down.
world did he get that away?
Well, he got it away, but he got it to number 84. That's Michael Lito, and he is not going to get enough for the first down. But instead of being 4th and about 13, it'll be 4th and 1, a very makeable situation.
Yeah, and you got to go for it at this point in the game because, you're thinking it can't hurt us.
If you don't have a kicker that can kick almost a 50-yard field goal, there's no reason not to go.
Well, if you punt it goes out of bounds, you're only picking up 10 yards.
Exactly. This is Boyd, and Boyd will get enough for the first down as he is stopped at the 27-yard line, a gain of about 4, and that'll be enough to move the chains.
I want to talk about the assistants. We talked, of course, about Tracy Parker being the head coach. His assistants are Mike Brown, Levi Wakini Kona. Got it tonight.
Right.
Jerry Jenkins, Alvin Lewis, Adrian Weidman, James Daniels, Wayne Jones, and Michael Mitchell. Give you the Kecoughtan coaches in just a second.
Wakini Kona.
Wakini Kona.
All right.
I want to do the hula.
This is the pitch to Boyd, and a nice defensive play to trip him up by number 8, Manny Anderson.
Manny, good job. We've called his name many times.
Lost back to the 33-yard line. That is a 6-yard loss on the play. A fine defensive effort by Anderson.
At Kecoughtan, we got the head coach, Tommy Austin, assisted by Dan Thompson, Matt Engel, Corey Thomas, Al Morrow, Charles Hope, Chuck Brose, Monroe Wells, Andy Johnson, and your buddy, Chris Morant.
Chris Morant, yep. I had a chance to talk to him before the game.
He said he knew you when you had hair.
We go way back. Williams on the keeper gets to the 31-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and about almost 15, 14 to 15. Now, Chris Moran, an interesting story. He, of course, played at Bethel High School and now coaches over at Kecoughtan.
That's what I was telling him. I said, you know, it's kind of weird to see that. Young man played some pro ball up at the CFL Canadian League, and now is just coaching and working and hoping to get in shape and get picked up for next year.
3rd down and about 15 for the Bruins. Williams at quarterback. He feels some pressure. He gets a swing pass and had to throw it a little sooner than he might like to have. He had Boyd on the screen pass to the right, but the Warriors didn't allow him time to get that play off properly. And it'll bring up 4th down and 15 for the Bruins.
Alan Backus, Kim, from the linebacker position, we talked about how well he runs the ball, but he's also an excellent football player on the defensive side, too. Was right in his face and had him around the legs, and he could not step up or do anything. And great job of the defensive unit for the Warriors now.
And you talked about that at the top of the show. The Warrior defense has been outstanding in spite of their 1-5 record. But again, the Bruins are going to go for it, or at least appear to be. Now there's a stoppage of play. I believe that's an official's timeout. Okay, we're set to go as Don Foreman's got them ready. So 4th and long for the Bruins. Williams wants to set up the screen on the left side, and they smell that out from the get-go. That ball is incomplete, intended for Ananias Boyd, but he was smothered by number 70. I thought it was
79, Tim.
Yeah, and I don't have a 79.
Yeah, John McDonald.
John McDonald, okay. All right, here are the Warriors on offense. And the Warriors on offense, their center is Gaddis. The guards are McCormick and Davis. Hammond and Davis are the tackles. That's Corey D. Mayo is the tight end. The split end is Harris. Ralph King is the wideout. Matt Cross is your quarterback. Terrence Thompson, the fullback, and the tailback, the aforementioned Alan Backus. And Cross's pass on the first play from scrimmage is incomplete down the near sideline, intended for Ralph King. Had me panicked that you took back your Kecoughtan Warrior lineup.
It blew your mind there for a minute. Panic.
2nd time tonight.
Unintentional, but I did need the other side of it. Get a chance, we will show you the Bruin defensive unit.
2nd down and 10 at the 31-yard line. Cross rolling, looking, wants to throw, and overthrows his intended receiver again. That's Terrence Thompson, who also plays quarterback for the Warriors.
And here's your Bethel defense. Guards, Adams and Perry. The tackles, Leto and Ellis. The ends, Watson and Williams. Linebackers, Joseph Solomon and 44, Justin Wood, back for the first time this year. The corners of Boyd and Hill, and the safety is Kenny Clark.
3rd down and 10 after 2 incomplete passes by the Warriors. 7:04 left here in a scoreless first quarter.
And there's who's I just talked about.
Talked about number 44, Justin Wood. He shot the gap and tripped up Backus before he had a chance to even get started. And that'll make the kicking team come on now for the Warriors.
Well, that's one way to stop an offense is you get back and don't let them get into the flow, and it throws the timing off. But I could see Justin moving up, and when I was over to Bethel yesterday, he still had the cast on his arm, and I'm going to the doctor to hopefully I'll be able to play.
He's playing. Ralph King back in deep punt formation. It's a fake. The Warriors have the play on. They've got the left side. He's got the first down. Boyd knocks him out of bounds.
What a nice call, Tim.
Down.
What a gutsy call.
Hey, you're 1-5. You know, we talked about it. Where are you going? You got to play on. It's no surprise to your team, and you hope to catch the other team by surprise, and it worked perfectly.
I mean, there was no doubt about the punter. He was running that ball. Ralph King, great job. They sealed that left side of that offensive line, sealed that defense, and just opened up. And, of course, Bethel was going back for a return.
20 yards on the play and a first down. This is a lateral to Backus. He could throw it if he had time or intended to do so. He did not, and Justin Wood is over there along with some of his buddies. Jonas Watson was there as well to stop Backus. But that ball was a backward pass, or as I referred to it back in the Triassic period, a lateral.
What period?
The Triassic period. Look at that. What a cute little baby sitting there enjoying the game tonight.
Yeah.
Was that King that ran the 20? Yeah.
But, you know, the bad thing about that took too long to get that pass there. You're going to have to get that pass there a lot quicker.
Well, you know, you talked about the Kecoughtan defense. That Bruin defense is no slouch either. Backus, and Backus has got a hole. He may go. He's got one man. That's Jimmy Williams. He will not catch him. And there are no penalty flags down.
They throw the ball, run, boom, got a touchdown. That tell you something, wasn't it?
53-yard run by Alan Backus. The pass sets up the run sets up the pass.
They were looking for the pass, I'm sure, Tim, and the linebacker moved to probably shoot the gap, and that's exactly where Allen went through. He went through the left side of the line, made a nice cut. The only guy that had a chance for him was Jimmy Williams. Jimmy plays defensive end.
Ryan Miller will try and make it 7-0. His kick is blocked. Low kick to begin with, and it's no good. And the score remains 6-0. And there's that young fan we were talking about.
He's happy.
Well, you know what he's saying? He says, what's going on?
He said, but I'm happy.
Let's get a chance to watch the touchdown.
Now watch going on the left side, Tim. The linebacker comes up, and he just took himself out of the play. Jimmy Williams, who's chasing him there at the end, come from his defensive end position, almost caught him. Alan Bass showed good speed after he got into the secondary.
So the Warriors trying to salvage the season, looking for their second victory. Another youngster and mom in the crowd tonight. Beautiful night out here.
Oh,
just
awesome.
Couldn't be more perfect. Hey, how about those guys over at Zoom's with all that wonderful food, that premium Citgo gas? They had the Beantown coffee, fried chicken, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts, ham and cheese subs.
I'm getting hungry.
Now let's go over there after the game, get some
getting
fresh
hungry.
pizza. Zoom's with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you.
Excuse me, Tim. Pearls have been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpet tile, vinyl blinds, both mini and vertical.
This is a short kick, and it is covered by the Bruins very alertly. I tell you, Tommy Austin's got them all.
Eager pulling out all the stops.
Why not?
Continuing with Pearls, Tim, they can custom design these carpets and vinyls and drapes for your needs. Give them a call at 722-1907. They're located 15 North Mallory in Phoebus.
41-yard line is where the Bruins will get it back. So a trick play or a fourth down fake punt, if you will, ended up at a first down, and then 2 plays later, Alan Backus right up the middle.
But, Tim, that could almost be like a turnover. You should have had the ball.
Quarterback is Williams. He gives to Boyd, and Boyd is stopped momentarily, and now the rest of the Warriors take the ball away. The ball came loose, and the Warriors have got it. That is number 33, Dante Edwards, who's come up with the fumble. And the Warriors are fired up.
I tell you, the one that really caused that trouble was number 5, Byron Tillery. Now watch him. Number 5 go shooting through right there and hit Ananias first.
He just
didn't stop him, but slowed him down.
But you know, Dante stole the ball. Just took it right out of Ananias Boyd's hands. He didn't fumble the ball. He stole it.
Well, you can do that.
Till the whistle blows. This is Backus, and Backus is to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of about 6. Alan Backus with a 53-yard run for the only touchdown, and he picks up 6 yards here, so you know he's got 59 yards that we know of for sure on just 2 plays.
Right, now that was Adams, Tim, that made the stop that time. He plays guard and made a nice move to get over there behind where the linebackers were and make that stop.
2nd down and 4 after the pickup of 6.
Unbalanced line.
Pitch to the Justin Green in the backfield. He cuts back and salvages a couple of yards out of what looked to be a loss.
Yeah, and Tim, he might have picked up maybe a yard, but it looked like it was going to have been thrown about 2 or 3 yards loss anyway. Yes. Justin Wood come flying in there, but nice move by Justin Green.
They'll give him 2 yards as you watch the replay.
Watch right here. Woods coming in and just couldn't get his feet to stop.
Quite frankly, Justin Green made a whole lot out of nothing there.
He sure did.
They mark him at the 28-yard line. It brings up 3rd down and about 2 for the 1st down. Kecoughtan leading 6-0. We've got 3:50 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Fake to Green. Cross wants to throw, and did he hold on?
Oh,
yes.
He did. I don't know. It looked like he was going to drop it.
Jared Mayo climbed the ladder at the 20-yard line to make a spectacular catch and a 1st down for the Warriors.
Pass was a little high, but boy, did he go up and get it.
He had to leap for this ball. We talked last week about some high passes. This pass was right up in that category, but Mayo, look at that. I mean, he extended himself, knew he was going to get hit.
Yes, he did.
And he held on to the ball for the 1st down. The Warriors looked anything like a 1-5 football team.
Well, Mayo, Tim, made a great block, released, and got open.
Looks like a mix-up in the backfield, and a good job by Matt Cross to just get rid of the ball. It may not have been what he wanted to do, but he was a heads-up quarterback on that play.
He saved about 10 yards.
Saved about 10 yards. When you're down inside the 30, those are crucial. Matt Cross, just a junior, but that was a real heady play because I think there was a mix-up. I believe he intended to hand the ball off and turn around and didn't have anyone to do that. So he says, well, wait a minute, let me see if I can make something here, and then realized, well, I'm outside the pocket, I'll throw it away. Good.
And he did. He threw it towards the line of scrimmage, which is was in his favor.
So it brings up 2nd down and 10. Linebackers show blitz. Cross, a nice fake, but it didn't fake out everybody.
Leto, wasn't it?
That was Michael Leto, who did not take the fake. And he threw the quarterback for a loss all the way back to the 31-yard line. That was an 11-yard loss on the play. Heads-up defense by the Bruins. Watch this. They're shooting the gap. Looked like Cross may have something going here. And then Leto said, no, I didn't buy it.
He slipped the block. The man was blocking him. He slipped through. Had that block held, Matt Cross had been wide open and could have found an open receiver.
3rd down and a ton now. 3rd down and 21. Cross has some time, has a receiver open, incomplete as the two battled for the ball.
It was, if you're not going to catch it, I'm not going to catch it.
That was Jason Bird and Ralph King battling for the ball, and neither of them were able to come up with it. Watch the replay here. You're going to see Cross get some pressure. Does a good job. He's got the ball pretty much on the mark, but the two players going for the ball.
Well, there's a flag down there holding
Against the Warriors, and the Bruins will decline that because it'll bring up 4th and 21.
We got a different mic on the referee tonight, Tim, and it's an open mic. So it stays open, so for when he's going to talk to us, they got to turn it on. And I didn't even see the flag until he was telling us about it. So we got to alert our crew in the truck that he's going to talk.
Going to see a very long field goal attempt. This will be a 47-yard attempt by Ryan Miller, if in fact it's not a fake. It is kicked, and it is well short. In fact, it was partially blocked, and it'll go into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback, and that will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line where the Bruins will have it, and they dodged a pretty big bullet there. The defense for the Bruins has played very well with the exception of that 53-yard run by Backus. So the Bruins will take it with 2:28 remaining here in the 1st quarter. This game videotaped on the 19th of October, 2001. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Next Friday night, we'll be back here for the 7th game of our regular season, and that will have Hampton High School and these same Kecoughtan Warriors. Jimmy Williams continues at the quarterback position. They've got trips to the near side and a wide out to the top. Now Williams working out of the shotgun. This is a straight run, and the Warriors were all over that play.
Big O 79, Tim.
That's John McDonald.
Now again, yeah.
So the Warrior defense continues to play very well. They're playing inspired football tonight. Here's the replay. Interesting setup, as it looked like they were going to go for the obvious pass play with the trips to the side and everything else, and it just never really got untracked. A loss on the play of about almost 2. Second down a dozen, as you see our overhead shot back to the.
They got 3 wideouts at the top of the screen.
Same alignment as last time, only to the right side this time. This time Williams will pass. He's hit just as he threw the ball. Contact downfield. There's going to be a penalty flag, and it'll be interesting to see because it appeared that both players kind of ran into each other. So
well, the Kecoughtan Warrior went up to catch the ball and was knocked down, so I don't know how they're going to call that.
And it appeared to be an uncatchable pass, so that'll be a factor too. You see Williams, he's going to get nailed by Backus just as he threw the ball. And that ball was over the head of any receiver. And I'm curious as to whether they're going to call pass interference on the defense. He's on top of the play. He's right there. I'm not going to question the call, but it did appear, as you said.
Number 1, Green. That'll be an automatic first down.
The play appeared to be a case where the Warrior had as good a shot at it as the Bruin did. And he got hit before he had a chance to make the play. But in any event,
I thought that the Warrior went up to try to catch the ball.
Sure looked like it. In any event, the call is interference. Boyd Backus has got him, and Boyd's going nowhere. Alan Backus is known for his running, but he is playing one whale of a game on defense tonight.
Well, nobody's blocking him, or if they're trying to, they're not getting a very good job done. Allen is coming from the one of the outside linebacker plays. He's right there. You see him.
No one touched him. And Boyd says, guys, I can run the ball, but I got to have some blocks. Clock moving with a little more than a minute left here in the first quarter. Bruins down 6-0. There you see the scoreboard and the story. Again, trips to the right side. Single wide receiver to the near side. That is Williams in the gun. He has some time now. He feels some pressure. Williams, a very elusive runner, cuts to the outside, gets a good block, and he will pick up a first down all the way out to, let's see where they mark him out of bounds, at the 47-yard line. So Jimmy Williams showing his elusive abilities as he picks up enough for a first down. Watch the replay here. Williams is going to do an excellent job of getting a lot out of nothing. Watch, he got a block here at the very end, and this time the block was a good block.
Boy, it was a great block.
So
do we have a number 7 out there?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we don't know who 7 is. I'll see if I can find out.
That's the Bruins we're speaking of, and the snap goes over Williams' head. He's going to do well to pick it up. He does, and then throws it, completing it at the 41-yard line. Still a loss on the play. The receiver, in retrospect, would have been better to have not caught the ball. If he just batted it down, they wouldn't have lost as many yards, but that's always more difficult to determine. Williams did a great job of getting to the ball. Watch the replay here. You can see the snap in the shotgun over his head. He just got it away, completes the pass, but a loss on the play. Michael Leto gets the grab at the 42-yard line. And that is the end of the first quarter. And we've played 12 minutes at Darling Stadium, and our score is Kecoughtan 6 and Bethel nothing. Next Friday night, the 26th of October, we'll be right back here, and these same Warriors will host the Hampton Crabbers.
And then talk a little bit about the Channel 46 International Award. They received the Telly Award, which is a tremendous award because it was also included people who have won this, like HBO, the Sci-Fi Channel, Touchstone Pictures, and the Discovery Channel. And they also won the Best of Show, is a Platinum Aurora Award for the same video that was done past, present, and future, directed by Don Scharouse, edited by Andy Foley, written and produced by Mike Nowinski, and executive producer Scotty Bowers. And it looks like the Kecoughtan principal, Mr. Baker.
Unfortunately, we do not know the make or model. License plate number L22-123.
So the Bruins will have the ball. Second down and about 15. After the completed pass cost them 5. Williams has traded off at the quarterback position previously, but he's gone entirely here, and he is just smothered back at the 30-yard line by a trio of Warriors.
We found out who number 7 is, Tim. We had him as 89, Joshua Eccles.
Okay.
So you want to make that change on your roster, we will make sure we got him covered.
Loss for the Bruins, and now we have a flag on the field.
I got to tell you something, this Kecoughtan Warrior defense is playing outstanding football.
Well, you know, Coach Austin told me that defensively, we're like number 2, or number 3. I'm not sure where he said they were, but they were up high in the standings.
Well,
and possession of time of possession, he said we led every game in time of possession.
See that shot from the Goodrich blimp?
No, it's the crow's nest blimp.
Oh, never mind. Had a penalty against the Bruins, not that they needed it, but a penalty against the sidelines for being on the field when they shouldn't be. Williams will try to set up the screen and gives a one-hopper, and then taking an unnecessary hit on the play was Spate. And they're going to rule that it was unavoidable, so there won't be a penalty. But the Bruins will be kicking from inside their 15-yard line, so they have been going in the opposite direction of where they want to go.
And what really makes you mad if you're a coach, Tim, is it should have been they should have had 7 points because they had a touchdown on the opening kickoff and a penalty called on a block that was not necessary. But of course, you don't know that as a player. You're out there to block.
Kick is just away. That was Joseph Solomon, who we've talked about before. We've seen him have a couple of kicks blocked because he sets up very shallow behind the
well, I talked to Tommy, calling him Tommy Austin. Tommy said, we have had a kick blocked in every game this year. And he says, and we will have a new kicker tonight. And their new kickers tonight is, where is it? And he said, we're using Ryan Miller, punter.
Jared.
Right, because he only takes 1 step. He says the other player was taking 2 or 3 steps and they were blocking it.
The player I'm talking about is for the Bruins.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
And that's Solomon, and he's had a couple blocked. As Backus, a late flag comes down, and that's going to be piling on will be the call, and that'll be a marginal call at best because it looked like the young man just couldn't stop his momentum, but they're going to call that. If you can pull up, and in the opinion of the official, you hit him unnecessarily, they're going to get that flag every time, but that's a tough call. So the Bruins will get penalized, as well as a fine effort by Backus on the play. He picked up about 11 yards.
Well, maybe we'll be able to pick up the referee.
No foul, White. Green.
So if we have a chance to run that play, you'll see number 84 come in late, and you'll watch the replay here. Backus will do a fine job running the ball. And then after the play was down, watch this, see what you think. Let you be the judge. He's down.
Oh, yeah, he started. Yeah, that was a little late.
Sometimes you just can't pull up, but the official ruled, yeah, you could have. So that
well, you could have jumped over it.
Yep, cost him 15. Inside handoff to Justin Green, and Green picks up yardage. He's got a first down close to the 25-yard line.
Tim, that's a little wrinkle. Run a man in motion, and then you hand the ball off to him. The timing's got to be pretty good on that, number one. And number two, we didn't see that the first game we played. Nice shot there, another young fan.
Lots of the youngsters at the game tonight, as they should be. This is a great place to bring your family. We encourage you to come out. I believe the cost for adults is just $4.
$4.
And even less for kids. So.
And little kids like that, they ought to let in free.
That's right. They may. Out of the shotgun. Sideline pass to Green, and that one did not work as the Bruins.
Jimmy Williams.
Yeah, Jimmy Williams as well as Joseph Solomon had that one all figured out. And that'll be a substantial loss on the play. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. Short of right at the 31-yard line, so that's a 5-yard loss on that play.
Well, Tim, that play is supposed to give you a quick pass and almost like a flanker screen, and he runs it back against the grain. But Jimmy Williams got in there, got a hold of him, and the guy threw a block on Williams, but he never let go and brought the ball carrier down at the same time.
Warriors out of the gun. Cross in the crowd, almost completed the pass, just off the mark. His intended receiver on that play was Darnell Harrison, number 6.
I'm impressed with Matt Cross passing the ball, Tim. I thought that was a catchable ball that time.
It was a dangerous pass, but I think you're right. I think it was catchable. Watch the replay, see what you think.
Right there. Yeah, you got to lay out for him. Of course, again, it's timing and confidence and all that stuff it'll work.
Third down and 16 for the Warriors. Ross has got a man, and this is just behind his intended receiver, Andrew Allen.
Well, he threw that time to a spot.
Yep.
He was running down, Allen was running down to a spot, curled, and he curled just a little too much, or the pass was just a little too far behind him. But we got a timeout this time, and while we have a timeout, I do want to mention that Zooms has given an award to the senior football player on each one of these teams this year in the Hampton system who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at a school board meeting at the end of the season, and we'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continued support of WHCS on our student athletes. And I also want to give you got a chance. I've got the young men who are being recognized for the Warriors is number 52, Tommy Hammond. For the Bruins, number 54, Jonas Watson. For Hampton High School, number 1, Aaron Whitehead. And for the Phoebus Phantoms, number 9, Marlon Ellis. Congratulations to those 4 young scholar athletes. And also, I got a minute here. Might as well mention that Pearls is the person you call for all your drapes. They're custom designed by interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Give them a call at 722-1907. John West is the president. Rita Barker is the vice president.
So the Warriors going for it on 4th and long, over the middle, intended for Justin Green, and just off the mark. So
he was open.
He was open. But he just led him too far, and the Warriors will give it over on downs. And we've had pretty much a defensive struggle, except for the Allen Backus 53-yard dash for the touchdown. Both defenses have been outstanding for these teams tonight.
Well, but right now you have to think that the Warriors' offense is doing a little bit more, but this is a touch pass. And, you get your adrenaline flowing a little bit, Tim, and you throw it just a little harder than you want to because Green was open. He just needs to lay that ball into him, take a little air out of it, drop it a little bit, and he'll get the touch.
So the Bruins take over at their 31-yard line. This is Ananias Boyd.
Oh, nice cut.
Beautiful cut. That's what makes the great runners. He does an excellent job picking up about 15 yards out to the 46-yard line. It'll be enough for a first down for the Bruins.
I don't know if we got that on replay, Tim, but there were about 3 tacklers there, and he made a little juke inside and went outside, and right there, and it popped it outside and picked up 15 yards, as you said.
46-yard line, first down. Jimmy Williams, straight back. Wants to throw, got the slant for Spate, and it's over his head, almost picked off. He was open, but
he sure
the
was.
throw was off the mark.
Well, the number 33 was sitting there, Dante Edwards, and thinking, man, if he hadn't tipped it, I could have caught that ball.
Edwards already got one turnover tonight. He stole the ball from Boyd earlier for a fumble or a steal, whatever you simply call that. Took it right out of his hands.
It's a sleight of hand, I don't know. You're right, he just took the ball right away from Ananias Boyd on a run.
Stops the clock with 9:07 left here in the first half, I should say. Play action fake. Williams still has the ball, throws, and he's got to complete it at the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down at the 38.
He had a lot of zip on the ball that time, and who was that? Was that 80?
That was, Kyle Keene, number 80, who made the grab for the first down at the 38-yard line.
Tim, when he caught that ball and he was sandwiched, two players hit him. Look at the nice move right there, but boom. Held on to the ball, and that's the thing. You know you're going to get hit.
80.
Kyle Keene, number 80. First down, the Bruins on the move. Ananias Boyd ran into his own blocker and picked up a yard after that.
Well, the reason he ran into his own blocker that time is big. It looked like big number 72 for the Warriors, and that's Corey D. Davis, 6'3", 285.
He's big.
Just pushed the guy that was blocking him right back into the path when Ananias wanted to run.
There you see the shot.
Oh, nice shot.
From the blimp. If we can just get it to hold still long enough. There you go. That's that spacing you were talking about earlier. And I hope I hope you don't have vertigo at home. You'll be all right. This is Williams on the keeper. Cuts it back, and good job forcing it back and prevented a big gain on that play. That was Manny Anderson.
Yeah.
And he's got to be one of our thoughtful players for tonight, for player of the game so far. He's been outstanding. Watch this on the replay. You're going to see Jimmy Williams. Williams had some running room here, but Manny just made him cut it back.
Yeah, and reached and got an ankle.
And you got to get an ankle on Williams because he'll make you pay if you don't.
Well, this big third down for the Bruins.
Yep, third down and about 6 to go. Tight formation. One wide receiver at the very top of the field. And this is Boyd. They gave it to the bread and butter guy. He is not going to get enough for the first down, but they'll be in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, it looks like he's about 2 yards shy, but this is an area that I don't look for Tracy Parker to send in his punter.
So it's 4th down and about 3 for the Bruins, maybe a long 2, but it's, again, too far to try a field goal, and it's close enough where if you punted it, you'd net 12 yards if it goes into the end zone. So Bruins have been moving the ball after during this last possession.
They got 44, Justin Wood in the backfield.
Got the first down.
He was one of the leading blockers that went down and picked up a linebacker, which enabled Jimmy Williams to pick up that first down.
Williams got about 6 yards as they marked the ball at the 25-yard line. And watch the replay here. This is a straight run from the go. This is not intended to be. This is a quarterback draw. And he just followed the blocking, and the blocking was more than adequate to give him enough for the first down.
It sure was. We saw that last year playing the fullback position, a blocker, Justin Wood.
1st and 10 at the Kecoughtan 25. Williams with a fresh set of downs, has all day, throws for Spate in the corner, and Spate can't get to it. Actually, he did get to it, but the ball was out of bounds when he did.
And the ball kind of slipped a little bit. If you noticed it, it looked kind of like a wounded duck, and I'm sure that the ball slipped a little bit when Jimmy threw the ball that time. Plenty of time, Tim. No pressure on him at all.
Watch this. He had time to knit a sweater back there and threw it, but he just led him a little too far. And he was well covered.
Knit a sweater.
Well, give the defense a credit there. They had 3 men on Spate, and the only way he was going to catch that was to catch it on the sidelines on a diving catch, and the ball was just a little too far. This is Ananias Boyd, and Boyd carries to about the 23-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long now, 3rd down and about 8. Marcus forward progress between the 23 and the 24. And they need to get to the 15. Clock moving now. Both teams, one team has 3 timeouts. That's the Bruins, and then 2 timeouts remain for the Warriors. 3rd down and about 9. And this is Spate is
Anderson.
hit by Manny Anderson, who's just been outstanding. And now you're facing 4th down and about 15 after the big loss back to the 29-yard line.
Manny Anderson coming from that inside linebacker spot, Tim. I don't know if you can see him shoot up right there. You see him coming up, he shot the gap.
That's what happens. That's why blitzing, when you get the guy, it looks great. When you have time to react to it, you're going to get some big yardage because there's no one back there. But that time, Manny Anderson got to him, and Spate had to simply go nowhere.
Yeah, well, see, one thing that'll hurt you on that is if you run a tight end across there, quick heading, but you got to have the right play called for that. And at that time, the Bruins didn't, and we have.
Well, we had too much time taken to get the play. That's delay of game going to be called. So instead of 4th down and 14, it'll be 4th down and 19. So it doesn't make a whole lot more difference because I've got to think they're going to throw the ball down around the 15-yard line anyway. That's the 4th penalty for 50 yards here in the first half charged to the Bruins. And a big one was that clip that caused the opening kickoff return to be negated by that call. You might say it's 50 yards, but it was more than that. It was a 6-point sure touchdown that got called back. Williams has to get to the corner, and he will not get close.
No, he just got back to almost just past the original line of scrimmage.
And again, the Warriors defense, this time Jared Mayo raced him down and got him for the loss, and that'll bring that's about 3rd time now that these teams have traded the ball on downs. So the Warriors leading 6-0 with 4:40 remaining in the first half. I understand I believe we're doing the band coverage at halftime. Let me confirm that with Mr. Bauer so we can appropriately plug that. So after the ball game is over, you'll get a chance to see the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band as they performed at halftime. So if you have an interest in watching that, we invite you to stay tuned for that at the conclusion of tonight's ball game.
Nice pickup that time by Alan Backus, Tim. Picked up almost 5 yards.
Backus, who's just been outstanding playing on both sides of the ball tonight. His defense has been even better than his offense, if that's fair to say, since he has the only score. But let's just put it like this. Backus has got a couple of stars next to his game as far as player of the game. But right now we also have a shining star in Manny Anderson on defense amongst others. So these guys are going to make it tough to pick a player of the game tonight. Now the Warriors with some confusion.
Well, they sent a guy in to give the play, and then coach says, maybe we better call timeout while we're.
And better to do that with.
Well, you get a 5-yard penalty, and you lost that nice second in 5 or 6. You don't want a second and 10 or 11.
No, and you've got still have one more timeout remaining.
Right.
With a little less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Hope you're enjoying tonight's contest. We've got a couple more games on our schedule. We want to remind you they got Hampton and Kecoughtan here next Friday night. Then these same Warriors will take on Phoebus the following Friday. We didn't have Kecoughtan since the opening week, and now we have them 3 weeks in a row, which is going to be fun. And then the final game of the season will pit the Heritage Hurricanes against these Bethel Bruins. That'll be on the 9th of November. So the timeout over with. The Warriors an opportunity to make sure they're all singing from the same song sheet here, and it's 2nd down and about 5.
Bringing them all sweaters and singing from song sheets.
Oh, yeah. And this is Backus, and Backus is
nice
up.
Tackle by, who was that, 25?
That's a superb play by Kenny Clark to come up and make the stop because Backus was headed for the corner, and if he'd gotten that corner, he might have picked up big yardage. And you'll watch this on the replay. You're going to see Kenny Clark react very nicely to the play. You're going to see him come up. Looks like he's from his safety position.
Yeah, Clark
that's it.
Plays safety. Very good, Tim.
Good call, huh?
All right. You want to do color tonight?
One in a row. I thought I'd beat you to it. 40-yard line.
You did good.
3rd down and a couple. Bruins show blitz, and Backus is tripped up and he'll be very close, but I don't think he's got it. He had to get to the 42, and they're going to mark him at about the 41, so it'll be 4th down and about a yard.
Well, that was Joseph Solomon, Tim, that got in there and got a hold of his feet.
Don Foreman's taking a long look at it. And I'm surprised he's letting the clock run. Now he's going to stop the clock because he's going to want to bring the chains out. But, Don, trust me on this. Trust me. He didn't get it.
Solomon plays the linebacker position and shot the gap and made a stop. But you're right, Tim. That's a good half a yard at least.
It's every bit of 2 football.
I think I could call that one.
Yeah, sure you could. At least 2 football lengths. See, that wasn't even close. All right, but that's to his defense. It's a lot easier when you're up here. You got a much better perspective on it, and he wanted to make sure, and that's the right thing to do. So the Warriors with a 4th and about a half a yard, and it looks like they're going to go for it, which is kind of an interesting situation here.
Well, I told you about the trouble they had punting the ball.
Yeah.
Coach Austin said he hadn't had, maybe one a year and had 5 already. Won every game this.
Matt Cross looks like he got it on the second effort, and he was hit initially, but he did a great job on second and third effort, and he got the first down.
Well, and it was because he wanted it. You're right.
Yes, sir. That was a great effort. And, Tommy Austin talked about this. He said these guys could quit. They could, not want to come out to practice. And a lot of times as you watch the replay, you just see not Tommy Austin, but rather Matt Cross in there. But Tommy Austin, the coach, said these guys have got a positive attitude.
Well, Tommy was probably helping push a little with body English.
Oh, well, sure. You know how that goes. Former coach, you know all about that. This is a completed pass close to the 50-yard line, actually into Bruin territory.
Ralph King
makes the grab. He's had a good night so far, both offensively and defensively. Mark him down at the 49-yard line, a gain of 8 on the play. 2nd and a couple of yards. Time becoming a factor now as you see the scoreboard, 2:05 to go. Quick pass to King.
Oh, did a nice job of avoiding that initial tackler.
Got hit in the hip and just bounced off of the guy. 2nd and a couple. And this is Justin Green, and Green is in first down territory. His forward progress will be marked across the 45-yard line, and that'll move the chains.
Green is doing something that it's hard to teach people to do when they go through the line of scrimmage, is to cut back against the grain. He did that time as soon as he got through the line of scrimmage and picked up the first down.
They mark it at the 44-yard line. Time, again, very much a factor here, down to 1:37. Clock is moving. Scoreboard shows Kecoughtan with 2 timeouts, but in fact they only have 1. They called one earlier.
Right. That's right.
So they'll have a timeout and a 1:25 to go here. This is Backus. Backus trying to find some running room and is going to be stopped after a short gain. Might have picked up about 3. Now, you know how the pattern of the play has changed a little bit here. Kecoughtan came out throwing the ball and set up the big run. Now they're running the ball and kind of staying away a little bit from
and throwing it just occasionally.
Yeah, they're mixing it up pretty well. They're not just running the ball, but they're relying more on Backus now than they did.
Well, did you see him? I mean, people hanging on him and everyone. He's still hard to bring down.
And the Warriors have taken their final timeout. Oh, got a flag. Excuse me. No timeout called. I saw the stoppage of play and made an assumption which was incorrect. So the holding call against the Warriors is going to hurt.
Is this the first time you've been wrong?
Tonight. Or at least the last minute or two anyway.
Because I want to call Donna.
Holding.
Should be quick to tell you that this is
first
down.
Oh, I just thought this first time she might want to know that you do make mistakes occasionally.
She could have confirmed that. All right, so the ball moved back to the 45-yard line, a very costly penalty. The down remains first, but instead of 1st and 10, it is first down and about 21. They need to get down to the 34-yard line to get a first down. And we've already seen Matt Cross can throw the ball, so that's not necessarily a problem. In motion, coming to the near side is Justin Green. Cross rolling, looking, has Green in his sights, but overthrows him again.
Green looked over one shoulder and it was thrown over the other shoulder, and you know, that's just timing, and it'll come as they play. When we first started with Kecoughtan, Matt Cross got in a few plays now and then. Thompson was the main quarterback as we watched the replay here. And he's got to develop that touch on that ball, and he'll do that as he gets a little more experience, a little more confidence. But I know starting now, that makes a big difference in your confidence as a quarterback. You're not looking over the bench, is he going to pull me out because that's overthrew?
2nd and 21, screen pass near side, across the middle, good cutback, and tripped up at about the 46-yard line. That was number 15, Terrence Thompson, the aforementioned quarterback, who you mentioned has been moved to the starting fullback position. He's not really run the ball a lot tonight.
No, he isn't. He's been used more as a blocker. We have timeout by the called by the Bruins this time. But, boy, look at the Bruins' pursuit.
Oh, I'm telling you. Well, that's what I'm saying. Neither of these offenses have done a lot tonight with a 6-0 game. I don't have to be a genius to tell you that. But their defense is part of this game that should be getting the credit. The Warrior defense has been extremely quick, as have the Bruins.
Well, but one thing that we've noticed throughout the years of doing this, and 21 years doing this, is that anytime you get a Hampton school playing a Hampton school, I mean, they go all out. I don't care what the record is. There's a little bit of pride there.
Well, they just crank it up a little more. And this timeout, by the way, comes with 52 seconds remaining in the first half. If you joined us late, you've missed a good defensive battle. There's been at least 3 occasions when the defense is held on 4th down. The only score of the ball game came with 5 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first quarter when Alan Backus raced up the middle on just a superb running effort and raced 53 yards for the score, and a very potentially crucial blocked extra point makes it 6-0, and that's where we are as we approach halftime. Warriors with 3rd down and about 12. Cross wants to throw and does. It's going to be caught.
Just a little bit out. He was out of bounds.
So a good grab by Justin Green, but unfortunately he had to have 1 foot in and couldn't quite do it. So they bring up a 4th down and about 12. And again, here's your replay. You're going to see, made an excellent effort. What you couldn't see clearly on your picture was he was just outside the sideline marker.
Well, and you had Jimmy Williams back there too, and he put it over his head, which he had to do, so it couldn't be intercepted.
Ralph King will be back in deep punt formation as Tommy Austin says, no, I'm not going to give any cheap touchdown if I can avoid it here late in the first quarter with 46 seconds remaining. And now the Bruins will benefit by too much time taken by the Warriors. They had some difficulty counting noses on the kicking team, so the delay in getting that 11th man out there was too much, and the Warriors will back up 5 yards, although that's not really crucial.
No, and it really doesn't hurt you that much. The clock was stopped anyway because of the incomplete pass. So what?
But now they've set up King is not in deep punt. Well, let's see who is in deep punt. Yeah, it is King. Okay. Number 3.
Number 3 is, and he's a one-step punter.
Is that like a 2-trick pony?
Yep.
Gets a good snap, and he gets it away. It's a wobbly kick near the sideline. In fact, Williams can't hold on to it, and it goes out of bounds. So that works out very well for the Warriors as the ball goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line, where the Bruins will have just 38 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts.
Well, and you look for the Bruins to try to get a score here. Jimmy Williams, good arm. If the key here will be is if the defense can get some pressure on him or make him run around and not pick up a first down and get a lot of yardage and run a lot of time off the clock.
And you can never forget about his running ability, though.
No.
I would look more for a run-type play than even a pass out of Williams. He is so elusive and so quick. Gets a low snap. He wants to pass. He's looking. Still has some time. Now throws over the middle and completes the pass at the 44-yard line to the aforementioned Joshua Eccles. Our good buddy next door can't find a name to go along with the number. He's got the same problem that we do. we'll have to help out.
I'm going to go help him out.
And Bethel will take a timeout with 27 seconds with the ball at the Bethel 45-yard line. So both teams will pretty much use up their timeout allotment here in the first half, as in this close 6-0 ball game, they're not going to hesitate to take every opportunity they can to get the ball down into scoring territory.
Oh, this has been an exciting game, Tim.
Not a good one. On a different note, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, and I should have, but not too long ago, I went to an event over at Memorial Stadium over there. They had a benefit over there, and I ran into our old buddy, A.G. Womble.
A.G.?
Yeah, I talked to A.G. for a while. He belongs to the Hampton Rotary Club, and my wife belongs to the Oyster Point Rotary Club, so they did the secret handshake and, and all that stuff.
Did you get to see the secret handshake?
No, I'm not a member of the Rotary.
Oh.
But A.G. said to say hello, and he looked just as fit and trim as he did the last time he was working the sidelines for us. All right, there's Jimmy Williams, and he will be sacked back at the 41-yard line, and another defensive effort. This is by Jamar Sumter.
Well, I tell you, Tim, Jamar might have had the guy that was blocking him, might have had a hold of his jersey. Watch this. Right there. He might have had a hold of a jersey.
Sumter was being held.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they didn't get that call, but they got the sack, and that's all they wanted. So the Bruins will burn their final timeout here with just 13 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, we remind you, next Friday night we'll be back here as these Warriors will have a big task of taking on the Hampton Crabbers, who will try and rebound Saturday night. As you've seen, are you watching this game? They'll be taking on, I believe it's Woodside. Hampton is, I think.
That is Brad Sindel that is controlling the crow's nest. It's a blimp that we got over our shoulders looking down at the field tonight.
All right, the Bruins now with second down and about 13. 13 seconds to go. They've burned their last timeout. Williams has his arm hit as he throws it, and that's what you always worry about. The Warriors come up with the pick. And a flag down on the return. Another flag comes down.
Yeah, I think we may have some clips.
Jared Mayo with the interception. That ball was tipped as Williams released it. There is no time. I started to say there are no seconds, but there is no time remaining on the clock.
That was number 44, Ed Ross, that got in there and got a hand on the arm of Jimmy Williams as he tried to throw that ball, Tim.
Well, what's going to happen here is if it's against the Warriors, it will just end the half because they would be the penalized team.
Against the Warriors, declined.
Where's the ball, please?
And that's...
But that's now had the penalty been against the Bruins, we'd have an untimed play.
Right.
So that is our half, and it's a close ball game as we somewhat expected it would be. We're in halftime, and our score is Kecoughtan 6 and Bethel nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have several announcements to make.
Backus has already got one.
Right now.
No, he hasn't.
No, here we are.
Oh, we're on.
Were you supposed to say you're on, right? We're just doing a little homework here as we're back here at Darling Stadium. Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. As you can tell, both teams have returned to the field. And our first half statistics. For the Bruins, they rushed the ball 20 times for just 33 yards rushing. Jimmy Williams was their leading rusher with 10 attempts for 21 yards. Williams also completed 4 of 11 passes for 32 yards. He was intercepted once. His leading receiver was Kyle Keene, who had 17 yards. First downs, the Bruins had 7 of them. They fumbled the ball at one time. That was that excellent effort where the ball was just simply stolen from the ball carrier by Dante Edwards. And they had a total of 65 yards. They were penalized 4 times for 50 in the first half. For the Warriors in the first half, they rushed the ball 13 times for 99 yards. Leading rusher was Alan Backus. He had 8 for 75, including the 53-yard touchdown for the only score during the first half. In the passing department, Matt Cross played quarterback the entire first half. He was 5 of 13 for just 9 yards. Leading receiver was Terrence Thompson, who made 1 catch for 9. 8 first downs for the Warriors. They did not fumble the ball, and they were only penalized twice for 15 yards. Total 108 yards of offense. So it's been clearly a defensive struggle. And the reason that Matt Cross, by the way, has so few yards is a lot of his passes turned out to be negative yardage.
Yeah. And Tim, I just noticed the flip of the coin, or the second half starting. The Warriors will get the ball. There is a little breeze that's picked up. It's going from our right to the left. So the Bruins are kicking with the wind to their back, trying to get an advantage here. And, of course, I know Tracy Parker went in there, and was not real pleased with their output. He feels they should have done a little bit better. First of all, he knows they should have had a touchdown on the opening kickoff, but those are things that you got to make adjustments for, and the kids have to focus on the positive things that they were doing right, which you had alluded to, both defenses on both teams. So I know the coaches didn't have much to go over on defenses. Offensively, they got to do some things, but we'll see what adjustments both coaches made. And
well, and that breeze you were speaking of just blew the cover that's along the sidelines here, and then actually blew the ball off the tee. So we've got a little bit of a breeze factor here that we did not have in the first half. So we'll see
we
how
probably won't see much of the the blimp.
Probably not. But we will see a good deep kick, and this one will actually carry into the end zone and be an automatic touchback. And again, those of you who may not be familiar with that rule in high school ball, you don't have an option. Once that ball is in the end zone, it is an automatic touchback.
Well, and I'm just watching Manny Anderson and Justin Green back there. Each thought the other one was going to get that ball, Tim. That was a returnable ball, but once it goes into the end zone, they cannot run it out even if they wanted to. Not like pros or college.
So the Warriors, leading 6-0, will start from their 20-yard line. Matt Cross will continue at quarterback. He's got King lined up to the near side, and the pass is intended for Terrence Thompson coming out of the backfield, and the pass just a little overthrown. And if Matt Cross has been off the mark tonight, it's been long. He's been overthrowing his receivers.
And sometimes, Tim, that comes because your adrenaline is flowing a little bit. You're a little anxious. You hold on the ball. You let go of the ball just a little sooner, and it has a tendency to float a little bit on you. But those things will come around. Just a junior, and is now evidently settled into that quarterback position, so that should give him some confidence.
George Harris wide to the near side. King, top of your screen. This is Backus, and Alan Backus will pick up 3 or 4 yards, depending on the spot. Looks like they'll mark him at about the 23-yard line. So let's call it a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down at about 7. Almost 4 yards. They keep moving that marker over.
Seeing if you're adjustable.
Well, they got the ball on the 23, but the marker closer to 24. So I'm not sure which to go by. I think the ball is the one to go by.
Well, you would think the ball, right.
So let's call it 3rd down and 7. Or 8, or 4, or 6.
Oh, something like that. Anyway, Justin Wood, number 44, and 69, Anthony Adams were combined to make that tackle that time.
Justin Green in motion. Cross rolling, looking, throws, and he's got Green at the 30. He's got the 1st down out of bounds at the 32. So that'll move the chains for the Warriors.
Now that...
Left or right?
Ron Minitry there on your right is Director of Fine Arts in the city of Hampton. Is that right, Scotty? For the Hampton schools. Oh, he's the man that's in charge of all the bands. So when we see the bands do a good job, we know it's him. If it's not, we also know it's him, right?
That's Bob talking, not me. All right, on 1st down, the ball carrier is Backus, and he will gain yardage out to the 36-yard line.
Tim, the play before that, when Matt Cross threw that ball, and it was kind of looked like a wounded duck, he kind of got hit as he threw the ball. I'm very surprised that it was completed for the 1st down. But that was
it may have slowed it down because he's been overthrowing, so that adjustment made it just right.
I don't know, but what a nice job of picking up that first down.
All right, this is second down and about 7 on the pitch. This is Backus. He's trying to get the corner. He's to the 40-yard line. He'll come up a couple of yards short of the first down as he needs to get to the 42.
Well, every time Matt Cross runs that option, he gets hit.
Yes.
I mean, he hadn't even got a check. He ain't thinking I'm going to carry the ball because he's getting waylaid each time he's got it, and he's pitching it quicker. And that, of course, is better for the defense than to string it out a little bit.
Third down and 2 for Kecoughtan. Just into the second half round. This is Backus. Alan Backus may go again. One man may stop him. That's Williams, and he will not get him. He's in the touchdown.
And, Tim, that was similar to the first play, except this went off the right side of the center rather than on the left-hand side. But he just made a pop through, and there's no linebacker there. And by the time he got to the secondary, they had to turn around and start chasing him.
This one is 59 yards. And Alan Backus has his second touch of the evening. The Warriors are going to burn a timeout here, at least if the coaches can get the attention of the extra point team. They're going to go for 2, and the coaches are yelling for a timeout, but to this one, now they finally see.
Yeah, I looked over there, Tim, and number 44, Ed Ross, caught the eye of the coach that was not one, but all the coaches on the sideline yelling, let's call a timeout here.
Yeah, hey, listen, don't forget now, tonight's contest is sponsored in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. Give them a call at 827-4670.
You got good memory because I didn't see that on there.
I didn't see it on there. I hope I was right.
Hey, you need your mini or vertical blinds repaired, Tim?
I do.
All right, well, then you need to give Pearls a call because that's one of the very few places that you can get these blinds repaired. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. Also want to let you know that Pearls is an authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealer.
And you see the Kecoughtan side of the field, and they are enjoying this contest, looking for their second victory of the year and trying to upset the Bethel Bruins. Long time left in this ball game, just barely into the second half, but the Warriors have taken a 12-0 lead. Now they're going to go for 2. Green in motion. Cross wants to throw to Green, and he throws it behind him, so it'll be no good on the conversion attempt. And our score will remain Kecoughtan 12 and Bethel 0. Didn't take the Warriors long, but then when you have that kind of long run by Backus, you don't have to take a lot of time off.
Watch him pop right through the right side this time, and it looked like he was going to get caught right at the 20, but he made it, and they caught him at about the 1 or 2 and just made it into the end zone.
You know, we've talked about the playoff situation, and we're getting to the point in the season we're going to start talking about that, but there is a possibility that 4 teams, you and I talked about it last week, you've got Hampton, Phoebus, Warwick, and Heritage. The four big 4.
You were hesitating. I don't know if you was testing me or what.
Testing me. I'm told that if Norview can win the rest of their games, they will be in, and only 3 Peninsula District teams can make it, but that's a big if. Norview's got to win all their games. And you got to make sure if you're one of the Division 5 teams, you don't get bumped off on a game you look past.
That's a good point.
Right now, Kecoughtan takes on this Hampton team that we've been talking about next Friday night, and the Warriors are taking the game right to these Bruins. So,
well, and you see what they're doing? They're kicking the ball almost like an onside kick. They said, we're not going to kick that ball to Ananias Boyd or Jimmy Williams and give them a chance to run that thing back like we did the first kick of the ball game. One of the adjustments they made. And not a bad adjustment, I don't think.
So the Bruins now will start from their 37-yard line, almost the 38. They're down by 12, but 2 missed extra point opportunities could loom big. This is a fumble, and Williams appeared to recover the fumble.
Yeah, he did.
That was Derek Bates who got the call. That's the first time I recall Bates carrying the ball tonight.
Yeah, it is the first time that young Mr. Bates have carried the ball, Tim.
So he fumbled it and didn't look like he was hit either. He just kind of looked like he was shifting the ball from maybe his right to his left hand.
Well, and sometimes all it takes is a tackler trying to tackle and actually hits the ball, and it looks like he did a good job on it. But Bates is just a sophomore.
2nd down and 13 after the 3-yard loss on the play. Need to get out to the 48-yard line for the first. Thought about that too, Bob. Jimmy Williams. Oh, the elusive Jimmy Williams. He is so difficult to catch. He ended up going from a substantial loss on the play to a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least 5 yards, but he was about 3 yards, was what, 13, 14. Yeah, he picked up about 8.
Corey Davis and Manny Anderson finally bring Jimmy Williams down. It'll be 3rd and 7.
I know who I haven't talked about tonight. I haven't talked about a crew.
Yeah, I think you should.
Should I talk about the crew?
You talk about them all the time. You might as well talk about them on there. That's right. Not hardly. Over the middle. Beautiful
nice
catch. That is
catch.
Our curfew Spate.
Yeah.
And he caught it at the, we're going to give his forward progress to the 45.5-yard line, but that will be enough for a first down.
Well, our director is Scotty Bowers, graphics and audio Andy Foley, engineer Don Charaus, the cameras Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron Baton. The mobile cable technicians are Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis. Instant replay, Andre Mattingly, and doing a little bit of everything else, Mike Nowinski.
Ananias Boyd carries. He's been held pretty well in check in this contest.
He really has. After that opening kickoff that he went 90-some yards or whatever it was and it was called back, he has not really been a big factor.
Gain of more than 6 yards, 2nd down and let's call it 4.
Tim, this is a big drive for the Bruins. Big possession. They need to get some points on the board.
Ananias Boyd gets the call, slanting off the right side, still on his feet. And finally taken down. He may have gotten the first down depending on the spot.
Well, if it's where that one official is, he got it.
And he did. He would not be denied. He got it to the 35-yard line.
Well, he didn't initially pick it up, Tim.
No, he definitely did not. He got that on 3rd, 4th, and 6th efforts. Watch the replay here. You'll see what we're speaking of. And I mean,
he is hit here at the, looks like the 39-yard line and gets all the way to the 35.
And give him credit because we already know the defense for the Warriors knows how to tackle. So that was just a superb effort on his part. And now they go back to Bates on the carry, and he gets a good gain on the play. He's got about 6 or 7, depending on the spot.
And this is what Bethel needs to do. They need to just control the ball, get some time possession, get some confidence, pick up some first downs, and get down and get a score. Because, Tim, you know, you were halfway through the 3rd quarter, and you're trailing by 2 scores.
Let me correct myself. That was Spate who carried the ball. Not Bates, rather, but Spate. Rhymes with. And this is Spate. And Spate has the first down. A flag came down.
And that usually means in that area that there's a holding somewhere. So that'll hurt the Bruins.
And Manny Anderson is shaken up on the play. At the very end of that play, a holding call against the Bethel Bruins. So much like we've talked about the Warriors shooting themselves in the foot, now the Bruins hurt themselves with a costly penalty after a first down.
And this, I believe, is from the point of the infraction, Tim. So it'll be 10 yards from that point.
10 yards, you're right. But of greater concern right now to the Warriors is their ace defender, Manny Anderson, who is down and being attended to. An official's timeout. Penalty moves the ball back very close to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's limping off, but he's all coming off on his own power, so that's good to see. Maybe rolled his ankle or something, walk it off. That's what a lot of trainers want you to do.
Yes, a lot easier said than done. So the loss after the penalty, they had a first down, but the penalty moves it back, so it's second down and a little more than 10. Williams over the center. And he'll give to Spate. And again, Spate picking up his involvement in the offense here as he is driven out of bounds after he gets to the 33-yard line.
And number 3, I call him Raphael because that's what we got, but the kids call him Ralph King.
So they'll mark the ball at the 33-yard line. It brings up a third down and 8. Now they need to get to the 25. Clock moving, check that stop now with the out-of-bounds play, but 5:28 remain in the third quarter. Bruins down 12-0. They trailed 6-0 at the half, and Alan Backus has added another touchdown to make it 12. Williams has time, throws in a crowd.
Ooh.
Almost had it picked off for the second time, and the young man who almost got it, Jared Mayo, already got one interception.
Yeah, and Tim, that was just not a well-thrown pass. The receiver was really covered. There was 3 or 4 Warriors around the receiver. And you can see right there, 1, 2, 3 Warriors where the ball was.
I got to tell you, this is one completion that Jimmy Williams would be glad he did not make.
Yeah, because it would have been to a player with a green jersey on.
Not a good decision. Fourth down and 8. Williams has to get to the 35, check that 25, and he is still trying. He's still on his feet. He's got some running room to the near side. And that won't work out either, as again, that relentless pursuit by the Warriors takes the ball back on downs.
Wow.
But I'll tell you one thing.
He's exciting.
You will not be able to fault Jimmy Williams for lack of effort, that's for sure. He ran 100 yards to lose 10. Watch the replay. You're going
got
to see
pressure, and he stepped up, looking for some blocks, and said, whoop, can't go that way, I'll go out of bounds. Let's reverse. Well, let's get away from that guy. Nice spin move.
For a moment, it looked like it might work out, but then that pursuit just closed down on him.
Yeah, it was.
I'm out of breath just watching that play. So
well, that'll get your heart beating a little bit.
Warriors take over at their 44. Matt Cross gives to Backus, and Backus drives to the 47-yard line, so he'll get about 3. Alan Backus just had an outstanding ball game. He's got touchdown runs of 53 and 59 yards. 112 yards just in those 2 carries, and he's had plenty of other effort. There you see the young man, number 25, Alan Backus. Let's talk about his statistics. He is a junior, which is always good news if you're a Warrior fan. He's 6'3", 181 pounds. And he plays both sides of the ball. So
he does that.
I know Tommy Austin is glad to see that. This is Backus again. This looked like the play that scored twice as he gets into Bruin territory before
the ball came loose.
But it is a first down at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, the official pointed down that it came loose after he was on the ground. So. And this is just, you're right, this is just a quick hitter right up got a lead blocker right there. The fullback's doing a great job of blocking the initial tackler.
Mr. Backus on the night, 13 carries for 154 yards. So
I'd say that's a pretty good average.
I would say. And a first down. Warriors keep the ball and the clock moving. This is Justin Green, and he will struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, the linebacker, one of them, Justin Wood, got back in and just disrupted the play completely with no timing on that play.
In on the stop as well was Joseph Solomon along with Jimmy Williams. But the Warriors lose about a yard on that play, and now an official's timeout. We've got.
I think it's an equipment problem there, Tim.
And we've got something going on here, a chin strap or something. In any event, the clock is restarted. 3:33 left in the third quarter. Kecoughtan with the ball and a 12-point lead. Second down and 11. Cross wants to throw, gives it to Thompson. Thompson, a little kind of a swing pass, screen pass.
And it was, everybody went to the right. Thompson came back to the left and was basically open. Credit the Bethel defense for not letting him get him any more yardage, but you could see he's coming from the right side and went to left. Oh, he got double teamed there.
They marked the ball across the 40, and it brings up a third down and a long 3 or a short 4, however you want to look at it. They'll give to Green, who will not get enough for the first down as he is stopped about 2 yards short of the first. They'll mark the ball at the 38-yard line. He needs to get to or across the 36-yard line, so let's call it fourth down and about 3, almost 3, 2.5. But again, one of those crucial fourth downs that we've seen, and now the Warriors are going to take a timeout to discuss whether or not to go for it.
Is that their second timeout, Tim?
I believe that is their second timeout here of the second half. Yes, it is. So they'll take the timeout. We'll talk about Zooms. We'll talk about the third, fourth quarter. Start to remember that Krispy Kreme donuts. There you see Miss Bowers on the camera tonight. A beautiful night here at Darling Stadium.
It really is.
Zooms has got that premium Citgo gas. The gas is served up at the Citgo at Zooms, 14 different locations. And isn't it nice to see the price of gasoline dropping these days?
It's dropping. It's nice. You go over there on Big Bethel to the Zooms on Big Bethel, try about 108.
Oh, my goodness. We get that tractor trailer thing I got in the backyard hooked up and go down there and fill up while it's
well,
nice.
There's Mr. Ron Baton, ESPN Baton, down there on the sideline. But, you know, you can't go down there, because if you go down there and the word gets out that you're not going to the one they know you at.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man, they'll put your picture up and start throwing darts at it or something.
I got my stool there.
Yeah, they'll burn your stool in effigy or something.
I go in there and say, Norm! Well, not exactly Norm, but it's Tim.
Yeah, Tim, come in. We got your chicken ready.
Got your fried chicken and potato wedges at Zooms. This is fourth down and 2, and this is going to be down incomplete, and the Bruins will again hold on defense. Their defense has just been outstanding.
Yeah, it really has been.
Both teams have just played very well on defense, and they've come up with the big plays when they've needed it. The Bruin offense has moved the ball here in the second half, but they haven't been able to sustain the drive, and so that's going to be their chore now as the time with 2:14 to go in the third quarter. They're at their 38-yard line. They have a good time, you know.
Killen gets all the jokes.
Well, I know what he's. I'll tell you later. But you know, these guys try and go live for about 2.5 hours. Jimmy Williams continues. We haven't seen Kyle Franklin tonight at all.
No.
Quick hitter doesn't work all that well, as the Warriors have that one read pretty well.
I don't know what's going on down the truck, but Killen is crying up here. He's laughing so hard.
Well, I'll tell you later.
Oh, you know.
I have a good suspicion. But I probably shouldn't, because we've got to maintain here.
Okay. Oh, we got a timeout. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Watch the replay.
Yeah, let's watch the replay.
You can write it right there, Tim.
That's pretty good, Scott. I like
Oh,
Told
okay.
you didn't want to know.
Oh, no, I can laugh a little bit.
1:45.
Hey, did you notice how they take things and twist them?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Try going live for about 2 hours without having some kind of possibility of things like that. You know? In any event, it is 12-0. Reset the story of the game here for you. Alan Backus has been the offense. He's got 2 long touchdowns, the only scores in tonight's contest.
But Tim, just to make people understand that that the the offensive line did a great job, and the lead blocker picked up that linebacker that he shot through the gap. Not saying he didn't do a great job, but and he'll be the first to tell you, somebody's got to open up the hole for me. So that offensive line that I talked about earlier has done a great job.
2nd down and 8 for the Bruins. Williams cuts it back, spots an opening, hurdles over one blocker.
2 people. One of his guys knocked down another one, and he went right over the top of him.
He is so inventive. You know, he had the situation there. He saw watch this, he's going to start going to his right, and then he's going to see that's not going to work because that's kind of clogged up. And he said, wait a minute, let's go back this way. What you can't see is there was a big opening to this near side, but then he realized he wasn't going to be able to get there because, again, that Kecoughtan pursuit is just so quick.
And you have to take your hats off to the defense. Dan Thompson's unit has just been outstanding.
They sure have. 3rd down and long. Williams got a man, and it's picked by Justin Green. Justin picks it up at the 40-yard line. He'll return it 5 yards, and the Warriors will have the ball back.
Nice job, Justin Green.
Turnovers just killing the Bruins. They fumbled the ball or had a ball stolen, however you want to describe it, and now a second interception here in the second half, and that just kills you. You can't turn the ball over. Watch the replay here. You're going to see Williams had plenty of time, had good protection. He just threw into coverage.
Yeah, and he really led his receiver just a little too much, and Justin Green just stepped right in there.
He was lucky he didn't get it picked off earlier. This is Backus, and Backus is at the 1st down marker. That'll be enough to move the chains depending on the spot, but it looks like he got it.
Yeah.
Got to the 45-yard line, and that will be enough.
Well, Tim, that was a little different wrinkle that time. Matt Cross, instead of being under center, was back in the shotgun formation, direct snap, and then a handoff. Something that we may see later on, that little shuffle pass that they throw from the shotgun. If it's fumbled, it's like an incomplete pass.
14 carries, 164 yards now for Backus. Warriors caught the blitz and picked it up pretty well. Throws the ball, tipped around. No, incomplete finally. About 3 or 4 players had a chance to bring that one in.
Well, Tim, I think the ball was intended for the deepest receiver. A shorter receiver went up, got a hand on it. Well, I don't know if we got it here, but the shorter receiver right there got a hand on it. I don't think he was the intended receiver.
Just too many people in a group there. You just can't throw that. It looks like we have a penalty flag against the Warriors. I didn't pick it up at first, but now they are talking to Bruins.
Field, it'll be 1st and 15.
Illegal receiver, 1st and 15. And, yeah, that will happen when you scramble like that.
So
although he was scrambling to save his life.
Yes, he was. So the ball is marked off 5 yards, and the Bruins will now defend a 1st and 15 down by 12-0. Warriors' Matt Cross doing a good job of running the attack tonight for Kecoughtan. And this is Backus, and Backus can't find any place to run, and he will just get back to the line of scrimmage.
Not a thing there. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, that was a good effort.
And he did, and that's what they'll end up with. It'll be 2nd down and 15, but that will have to wait until they move the ball about, what, an inch?
Yeah, well, just from one side of the 50 to the other, and that's about all they're going to do.
Quarter 3 in the books. Our score after 3 is Kecoughtan 12 and the Bruins of Bethel no score. Yeah, that's one time, Bob, that the officials didn't have to do a lot of measuring and marking off. And
you're right.
All they had to do was turn around.
Do want to let you know that if you're looking for floor covering, be it carpet, tile, or vinyl, you can give Pearls a call in Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They're located at 15 North Mallory. They are authorized Mohawk and Armstrong dealer. John West is the president. Rita Barker, the vice president. Give them a call, 722-1907.
And again, we want to remind you that tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Olmsted Avenue. Give them a call at 827-4670. Fourth quarter getting set to start. Bruins 4-2 on the season. And right now, their winning season would continue, but they're in jeopardy of falling to 4-3 and basically eliminating them from postseason.
Well, and I asked Tracy, I said, what are your options of what does it look like going to Division VI playoffs? And he said, we're going to have to get some help. Well, one thing you got to do, you look for help from somebody else, but you can't afford to lose any.
No question.
8-2 would probably get him there. 7-3 would not get him there.
Probably not. Although it's hard to tell, this playoff scenario is very different. That was a nice stop, by the way, by Jonas Watson as he stopped Alan Backus for a loss. And it brings up 3rd down and about 17 now, almost 18 yards for the first down. Warriors trying to keep this drive alive. The fake to Backus. And one of the rare times tonight that we've seen Matt Cross run the ball, and he probably wants to take that play out of the book because it was for naught. And the Bruins complaining to the officials about something. I'm going to speculate it was a holding or a bad block, but no penalty flag on the play. However, the Warriors now will have to bring on the kicking team as that play did not work well at all.
It didn't fool anybody.
So they mark it at the Kecoughtan 44-yard line. They have to go all the way to the Bruin 35 to get a first down.
So you think they got a little ways to go?
Well, it's about the 4th or 5th time there's been a 4th and 21 tonight.
Oh, there's a flag down.
Yeah, there is a flag down. And this may be illegal substitution against the Warriors. They may have too many men on the field. So that is, in fact, the call. So things are starting to go from bad to worse here.
Trying to see where.
Yeah, that's
still 4th down.
Illegal substitution. That one I knew. Hold your hand over your heart besides singing the national anthem. It also means you had an illegal substitution. So King will be in deep punt formation. He's only punted once tonight, and the Bruins trying to put the rush on him. He gets it away, fielded at the 31-yard line by Jimmy Williams. They've got the return set up to the left side.
Kecoughtan player tripped each other.
Yeah, and the flag goes down on the return. Williams is taken down. Another flag goes down. It is flagged at Darling Stadium as we've got multiple penalties on the return. And a 3rd flag right at the spot where the ball was marked down. So we've got at least 2, maybe 3 penalties.
If there was another penalty, I guess they throw their hat.
Let's watch this. You're gonna feel it.
Sound like there was right here is the face mask right there. That was one penalty, and I don't know what the others were.
Well, we'll let the referee with his microphone. He's talking. Let's listen in. And
well, we was hearing the referee there for a second.
So we apparently have a holding call and a couple of face mask calls.
The face mask was against the Warriors. The holding was against the Bruins. So I don't know whether this now you got to is it post possession or
We'll let them sort it out. That's why they get paid the big. That's right. Some clips, maybe a hold or two.
A clip or two.
Right.
Let's listen.
Let's listen up. This might take a minute.
We have a face mask.
Now we can't hear.
Well, he's not.
Hold on White. They're offset. And we'll re-kick, play 4th down.
So, no play.
Re-kick.
So a holding call on the return and a face mask against Kecoughtan. And they offset each other, and just as if the play never happened.
Well, I thought it happened.
It did happen.
Okay.
But not officially.
Well, if we go back into the archives years from now, that play never happened, right? Even though we saw it.
And when that tree fell, there was no sound in the forest.
Should have flags too.
Yes. Yeah, we need to get the linemen with flags too. That's what Bob thinks. Bob Killen doing our statistics for us tonight. All right, let's try it again. Ralph King will stand a little further back. Short drop, get good protection, almost identical. He fields it at the 36-yard line, and now instead of going east and west, this is Ananias Boyd, and he will return it to the 49-yard line. He's not quite as adventuresome as
I was going to say, he's a good runner, but he's not quite got the excitement that Jimmy does when he gets the ball.
All right, here's the return by Boyd from the 36. The 13-yard return. They mark the ball at the 49. And the Bruins are starting to run out of some time here. They have to have 2 touchdowns.
Well, I told you before, when they had that ball, that was a big possession. They were moving the ball, and they got to kind of stop down around the 30.
Well, give credit to that Kecoughtan defense. Tommy Austin's team has played well. Fumble on the snap, but Williams got it back, and he will just, in fact, he won't get back to the line.
We got a flag come throwing in there.
Yep. So a late flag. And the Bruins would love to get a break here. Face mask. That'll be a big break.
5 yards.
It's going to be a 5-yard call, though.
Inadvertent.
Yep. So the penalty will help the Bruins as you'll watch the replay here. See if we can pick up the penalty on the face mask. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Must have been.
Didn't look like it from here, but obviously we're much further away, and they have a much better angle.
Well, it might be, Jimmy had his back to us as he was going down. So
it's first down still. This is Boyd, and Boyd is going to get the first down as he is across the 40-yard line. And again, we've seen this effort. The really good running backs like Boyd and Backus don't stop when you hit them first time, second time, or even the third time. They keep that leg drive going. And watch it. This is just an excellent effort.
Gets hit right here. Now watch this hit coming in from number 3. That was Ralph King, and he just kind of like a pinball, just bouncing off of things.
This is Boyd again, and he again struggles to get yardage, and he is stopped at the 34-yard line. So that's a nice pickup of about 6. Manny Anderson, who was shaken up in the third quarter, we're happy to say, is back in and seems to be feeling just fine. And here's your replay. You're going to see Boyd in the grasp of Anderson. So they mark it just inside the Kecoughtan 34. This is really a big series here for the Bruins. They've got to get a score here if they have any chance at all. It's second down and about 4. Williams has plenty of time, got a man open in the flat. He's got the completed pass and a first down out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
That was 84, Tim, on the reception. Michael Leto.
And that stops the clock with 8:41 remaining. Bruins have 2 timeouts left. Here's your replay. Williams is just going to spot Leto out there in the flat. He just got past the defender and did a good job as King came over to put the finishing touches on him, but it was too late as he was there, and they restart the clock. I thought that was odd because he went out of bounds.
Yeah, because the clock doesn't restart.
Now the Warriors are going to take a timeout.
Well, maybe he didn't go out of bounds, Tim. They stopped the clock because of the first down.
Right.
Maybe he didn't go out of bounds.
Very good point. And it appeared from here, which is, of course, that's on the far side of the field from us. So he very well may not have gotten out. But you're right. High school rules, of course, when you register first down, they do stop the clock momentarily to advance the chains. So there you see the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band. And don't forget, you can watch their halftime presentation. And it was a good one.
That'll be a good one.
Be on right after this contest, so stay tuned for that immediately following tonight's contest. So the ball is marked at the Kecoughtan 25-yard line. It is a first down. That timeout taken by the Warriors leave them with none, and the Bruins still with 2 timeouts here in the fourth quarter. 8:35 on the clock. Williams will work out of the shotgun. He's got Boyd blocking for him. He'll throw the ball in a crowd again, intended for Curfew Spate, and that ball overthrown.
Well, he zeroed in on Curfew Spate, Tim, but Mike Leto was open down the center of the field.
You'll see Williams here has some good time, and you're right. Leto appeared to be open over the middle, but you don't have a lot of time.
No, you don't.
Second and 10. Williams decides to throw, got a wide open receiver, Spate, and Spate is inside the 10. First and goal for the Bruins.
What a nice job of Williams, instead of running the ball, finding Spate, who he did a good job of getting wide open, didn't he?
A great job. There you see the story. 8:16. The clock is stopped while they reset the chains, and now it's restarted for the Bruins with a first and goal at the 8-yard line. Again, out of the shotgun, and again, Ananias Boyd in the backfield. This will be a handoff to Boyd. He'll try the left side, and nothing happening there. Mr. McDonald waiting.
Ball came loose, Tim.
And let's see, did they rule a fumble? No. But John McDonald, number 79, was there ready and willing to take on Ananias Boyd and stopped him for a loss back to the 11.
So still goal, but it's second and goal.
And again, the time is a factor here. The Bruins do have 2 timeouts remaining. Ananias Boyd checks out of the game. Seemed to be favoring a shoulder. Jimmy Williams out of the gun. Has some running room. Steps up inside the 5, and he is met there by our aforementioned Ralph King and others. Also in there was Brian Tillery, and the 2 of them just stood him up at the 5. Watch the replay.
He put his head down, and there were 2 of them and 1 of him.
Watch the replay here.
Right here.
Boom. I mean, that was truly 2 Rams butting each other at the 5-yard line. And the Bruins, knowing the importance of this play, take their second timeout, leaving them with just 1 here in the 4th quarter with 7:09 on the clock.
Well, they've really got 2 plays to score, Tim, but you're right. This is very important. You want to get the score now. Get an onside kick. If you can recover it, fine. If you can't, then your defense has got to step up and make the the Warriors punt so that you can get the ball back again and get a chance for a second score. Very exciting game tonight. Both of these teams, quarterbacks, both have been using 2 quarterbacks. Kyle Franklin along with Jimmy Williams for the Bruins, and Terrence Thompson along with Matt Cross. It seems like the coaches have settled down to 1 quarterback each, but very exciting game.
3rd and goal at the 5. Williams with a stacked backfield, and he gives the ball to, and he is in. That is Derek Bates.
I was going to say, I thought it was 14.
That is. In fact, I don't know whether Boyd got hurt or not because he had gone out of the ball game. But that is Derek Bates, who fumbled the only other time he got the ball, and you know how anxious he was to redeem himself.
Well, that'll do it.
A 5-yard run by Derek Bates to make it a 6-point difference rather. They can make it a 5-point difference here. It's really, they're going to go for 2 because it's really not that important. They just need 1 of the extra points. I'm really not quite sure why they don't go for and they're going to take too much time. I'm not sure I understand why, and they got illegal substitution.
Well,
why not try just the extra point? Because then all you have to do is have a touchdown. You don't have to worry about an extra point.
If you got a guy that can kick the ball and you've got confidence in him.
Well,
you're right. But I'd go for the extra point.
12 on the field, illegal substitution, White. Still an untying down try for point. Green captain, I said it right.
All right, well, you could hear Don Foreman again. I want to thank him for allowing us to listen in on his explanations tonight.
Well, what happened that time was that they sent Justin Wood in there, and there was no place for him to go.
And they're still confused. They still have too many players with Wood going in there, and now they're going to have to call a timeout.
Oh, gee, Minnie.
So
that
this
hurts.
is really tough on Tracy Parker's coaching over there, because they just, even with the penalty and the time it took to assess that, they still couldn't quite figure out what they wanted to do. We're going to go back now and show you the touchdown run by Derek Bates, and this is just an extra good effort on his part. He was not going to be denied that end zone. And he carried a couple of tough Kecoughtan defenders in there.
Well, that loss of that extra timeout that they should not have had to burn is gone. Might come back to haunt them, Tim. They kept trying to put Woods in there, Tim, but they already had 11 men on the field. And he was confused. Where should I go? Should I stand or not? That cost him a 5-yard penalty, and then they started the clock again. And they still act like they didn't know. There's too much confusion going on over there. And let's see now whether Woods. I don't see Woods out there. So,
well, before they didn't really have the time to go over to the sidelines and discuss it because it wasn't a timeout, as you see the scoreboard and the score. But if they have confusion now, then shame on them because they've had every effort to get this one ironed out. They are going for 2, and Williams has a little running room, now spots a receiver, the man he's had more success with tonight, Curfew Spate, but that one goes incomplete, and we still have a 6-point difference. I don't know the kicking situation at Bethel.
I don't either.
I know Solomon kicks the not extra points, but rather kicks off Joseph Solomon, and he also punts.
Oh, well, I thought that Kyle Franklin was the PAT guy.
Maybe he's hurt. I mean, we didn't.
That may be it. Maybe that's why we're not seeing him tonight.
Not that Williams hasn't done a good job at the quarterback, because he certainly has.
Well, I don't. Number 10 is Kyle's number 10, and I do not see him over there. It doesn't mean that he's not over there. I just can't spot him.
That might be the whole factor here, is their extra point guy might not be dressed out tonight. So it remains a 6-point difference. The worst case scenario for the Bruins here, if they can get another touchdown, is that worst case, because of the 2 missed extra point attempts by the Warriors, is they could at least settle for a tie and put the game into overtime if that were the case. But in any event, we have to look for a possible onside kick because of the lack of timeouts for both squads.
Well, and lack of time.
Well, Warriors have got 10 men right up at the 50-yard line anticipating that, and the Warriors will, in fact, watch a regular kickoff taken by King. Ralph King. Oh, and he is nailed and keeps going.
Whoa.
Ralph King took a hit and kept on ticking.
My goodness.
He took a shot. That was a serious contact by Kenneth Hopkins by the Bruins. Watch this replay.
Well, Hopkins only 138.
Yeah, and he just bounced off. Watch this. This was boom.
Well, Hopkins hit him a little high.
He won't do that again.
No, next time he'll hit him a little bit lower.
But now the importance of sustaining a drive. Neither team has a timeout remaining. Matt Cross comes over to the sideline out of the huddle to make sure he's got the right call. Starts from their 30-yard line. Neither team with a timeout. And this is Backus, and Backus picks up about 3 or 4.
Well, if Kecoughtan can do it on the ground, that means that no incomplete passes, no stoppage of clock.
And plenty of time. There's more than 6.5 minutes remaining, so they've got all kinds of time. But they need to get a couple of first downs to keep it going, and they are taking an awful lot of time getting the play in, so they have to be aware of a delay of game penalty. King lines up far to the left, Harris to the near side, and they do get the play off, and this is Backus, and he'll get a yard to the 35, and that's all. And a nice defensive play by number 55, Joseph Solomon, along with your aforementioned Justin Wood, number 44, who got the first hand on him.
He gets in that backfield real quick, Justin does.
So a crucial 3rd down and 5 for the Warriors here. This could be the game. If they can keep the ball, the Warriors, and get a couple of first downs, because Bethel can't stop the clock. So 3rd and 5, who do you give the ball to, Bob?
I know his young man by the name of Alan Backus.
And that is him, Mr. Backus, and he will not get but about a yard, maybe 2 on a good second effort, but that'll force the Warriors to bring on the kicking team. So the Warriors now faced with a 4th down and 3 and some indecision, but now they bring on the kicking team.
Oh, they've got to put. You can't.
No question. It's a full 3 yards as you watch the replay. a full 3 yards for the first down. And again, the Warriors using as much time as they can, clock moving, and we've hit the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
Well, King has kicked the ball to the left side every kick he's kicked, Tim.
And now we've got an official downfield stopping. Okay, the kicking tee after that touchdown was still on the field. No one had noticed it. So a temporary stopping of the clock. Official spotted the orange kicking tee back on the field.
Jimmy Williams is going to go. He's going to be the only man back.
Yep.
They're going to hope he can break something.
And the Warriors, and they kick the ball horribly. King trying to keep it away from Williams, shanks the ball, and they'll line it up. I don't think it went 10 yards.
It didn't, Tim. Is he spotting the ball
He's
at
spotting
the 35?
43.
Oh, the 43.
The 43.
I was looking at the other official down there.
10 yards. 6 yards. It wasn't, they might as well have gone for it in retrospect. Of course, hindsight is always going to be 20/20, but I know what they were trying to do, and I don't think King is all that terribly comfortable punting, although he's had a pretty good a couple of attempts tonight. But, boy, if you're the Bruins, things couldn't have worked out much better for you. So now, Williams not in the gun. He'll be over center, and he'll give the ball to Bates, Jarek Bates. And I see Boyd in there, and Boyd is favoring his left shoulder. I don't think he's 100%.
I don't think he is either, but that Bates kid, Tim, number 14, he's 5'10", 184. They have him listed just a sophomore. Showing some real good speed and strength.
Allen Backus in on the stop, as he has done so well tonight, playing both sides of the ball. Second down and about 6. This is the Ananias Boyd, and he's in the open. He may go. He's going to score. Touchdown, Bethel.
Whoa.
Ananias Boyd from 39 yards out ties the ball game.
And that's where your kicking game will come back to haunt you.
I wasn't sure he was 100%, but last time I checked, you don't run with your arm. See how he's got that left arm kind of dangling there? I think he may have gotten a partial separation or something. Again, that's pure speculation on my part. But the last time I checked, you use your legs to run, and that's what Boyd said. Give me the ball. Give me a shot at it.
We got Justin Wood in there to attempt the point after.
Worst case, as I said, and they still got 4 minutes left in this game. Worst case here is you end up with a tie and you go into overtime. And that's what's going to happen. Ball is blocked, and it'll remain 12-all. So we've got a real barn burner set up here.
But don't go home yet, fellas.
A blocked extra point try. Here's the score. Ananias Boyd from 39 yards. He just bobbed and weaved his way into the open. Looked like...
made a nice move there.
Again, determination being a big factor there. The young man we've talked so much about tonight for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Manny Anderson, got a hand on his ankle, but Boyd just said, nope, that's not going to be enough. I'm going to get in the end zone, and he did it. 39 yards out. It's been all the Bruins in the second half as Bates scored from 5, and now Boyd from 39 yards with 3:59 to go.
In the fourth quarter?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They scored with 6 minutes and some change.
That's what I thought. Their offense finally came alive in the fourth quarter.
Well, the defense for the Warriors has just been tremendous all night long, and just a really bad punt allowed a great field position, and it only took one down. 16 carries for 72 yards for Ananias Boyd, and the biggest of all, that 39-yard run to tie the ball game at 12 apiece.
Well, they got, again, the Warriors got 10 men up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, I don't think
I don't think they're going to get. They didn't get it last time. It's what I thought they would get.
No. You kick it along. Of course, you're kicking into that breeze that's kicked up. But yeah, you're going to see Solomon put as much leg in as he can. He got it at the 11-yard line. This is King. Gets some running room. He's to the near side and tripped up by.
What a tackle by
Solomon. That was the kicker. Joseph Solomon saved what could have been a touchdown return by Ralph King. He had some running room.
He did that.
Well, this has been as exciting a game as you can have. Here's the replay. King had an opening right here, got some good blocking and just got an ankle on him. There was some downfield tacklers, but it could have gone for a long ways. 35-yard line, the Warriors, who led 12-0, find themselves now tied with 3:51 to go in regulation. The pitch to Backus, who's had 2 already, and Backus is going to be stuffed for a loss, and a late flag gets thrown in.
Well, Tim, one thing about Backus we have seen, he does great popping up the middle, but this was a sweep. The Bruins were ready for it.
I think the way you run against the Bruins is the quick hitter. I think they have too good of a pursuit on their defense.
5-yard face mask on White.
So the Warriors will benefit by a 5-yard inadvertent face mask call. That'll be from the end of the play, I believe. So in essence, what will happen is it'll be first and about 7.
Well, Tim, not only has the wind picked up, but its temperature has dropped a little bit.
Yes, it has.
My nose is getting cold. Of course, if I'm a dog, that means I'm healthy.
No comment here. You're a healthy dog.
Yeah, we'll let Scotty make all the comments.
That's right. Let him do all the comedy work here. Completed pass? No. Let's see. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a completed pass.
That was George Harris who made the grab. And that will mark the ball at the 47-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Warriors. So they're not out of this thing yet. Watch the pass from Matt Cross to George Harris.
That was a great, I mean, he threw it where nobody else is going to catch it, but, and who was that?
George Harris.
George Harris. Now, no George, wasn't he a singer?
That's Harrison, close enough. 47-yard line, first down. And a mix-up in the backfield, and Backus will have to eat the football for a loss of about 7 or 8.
And not only was it a mix-up, but as it occurred, Justin Wood was there, and he was helped by a couple other people.
So they mark it at the 41-yard line. They need to get to the Bethel 43. Watch the replay here. That's just a terrible timing problem back there, and Solomon and Woods we're right there. Sounds like a law firm.
Yeah, it does. But that was Matt thought that Backus was going on one side, and Backus thought he was going on the other side, and they was, you know, and by the time they could go somewhere, it was
pitch. Oh, dangerous pitch picked up by the Bruins. Joseph Solomon has it first down inside the 25. And if this turns out to be a loss for Kecoughtan, it's got to be a heartbreaker. Joseph Solomon, that pitch, when I saw the play developing, I had an ominous feeling about it. Here is the replay. You're going to see the pitch.
Oh, he just pitched it way too high.
It's just a dangerous play. I've got to say, in my opinion, that's not the kind of play I would have run.
Well, Tommy Hammond, number 52, saved the touchdown.
But
at that point.
You want a high percentage opportunity to hand the ball off. Here's Boyd. Ananias Boyd is down to the 15-yard line. Now we're down to 2:05. No timeouts remaining for either team. And let's remember, the Bruins apparently have nobody who can kick the ball. We've seen a blocked extra point try and an obvious opportunity to go for 1 when they went for 2. And Manny Anderson is shaken up. He's going to have to come out of the ball game, and he will check out. Number 8.
Got a stinger, it looks like.
He's really favoring his right shoulder. He's been shaken up twice now, and he's a real good defender to not have in your backfield. And Anderson still hasn't been attended to over there, but I mean, he's not laying down there trying to.
No, the trainer is following him around. If we can get him to stop and talk to him, and maybe figure out what's wrong.
So 1:19, clock moving, third down and about 3.
Well, the only way you're going to stop the clock is get the first down and then maybe spike the ball. We got an official's timeout.
That's one way to do it. Now let's see, we've got a equipment problem. And he's apparently got a chin strap problem. So they'll have to substitute. Again, you can't call a timeout here.
No, and they did.
Straight up the middle, it's going to be close for the first down. Looks like he's got it. at the 10-yard line. They'll get the clock stopped momentarily. It is a first down right at the 10. And the Bruins, again, if you got a good kicking game here, you're well within a field goal range, but we already know that's not going to be the case. 1 minute and the clock is moving. The Warriors want to force overtime. The Bruins want nothing to do with it. This is Bates. And Bates struggling, will not get anywhere.
Well, you talk about gang tackling, and that's exactly what the Warriors are doing. They're saying, you're not going to beat us. If you are, it's going to because you run through more than 2 or 3 tacklers.
30 seconds on the clock as you watch the replay. Bates tried to get to the outside, tried to cut it inside. Nothing happening. Clock moving. Back to the live action now.
Tillery was
and
one.
They just spiked the ball.
Oh, we got a flag also.
Yep, might have had someone off sides. But more importantly, you've got 20 seconds on the clock. And it's 2nd and goal.
Byron Tillery was the young man that was the first tackler on that last group. And that's him coming number 5 coming off, Tim. But, I mean, he hit him and about 3 other guys hit him, so it wasn't just him by himself.
What I was trying to get you to do is listen to the referee, but he signaled illegal procedure against the Bruins, and clearly, if you're the Warriors, you want that 5-yard.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a matter of downs here. You got 20 seconds, and it's 2nd down.
We'll listen to him.
Dead ball. False start.
Dead ball. False start.
Ooh, my goodness. Don't forget to turn off your mic when you do that. So now we've got, well, what have we got? We got an official's timeout to come over to the sidelines. I'm not sure why he would come over to the Kecoughtan sideline.
Well, maybe the difference in the clock or something.
Well, they're going to try a field goal attempt apparently here if and when we resume play.
Well, Tim, with 2nd down, I'm kind of surprised that Jimmy doesn't take a couple shots in the end zone before you try it.
The worst case is you end up in overtime. Unless you throw a pick and it's returned for a touchdown. But you throw a safe kind of pass, you throw it over the middle.
And you make sure he's in the end zone because if he does, and if he doesn't, it still goes to overtime.
Right.
But you're right.
But now you run the risk of a blocked field goal attempt. And, we'll see how this works out. It's going to be a 32-yard field goal attempt, apparently. Clock is restarted. They did put 5 seconds back on the clock. High snap.
Oh, it wasn't even, it was a fake all the way.
Yep, and we're going to go to overtime, folks, because that play never had a chance. Clock will continue to move. And we'll tell you all about how overtime works.
Well, they stopped the clock, and I don't know why, Tim.
Well, they've restarted it.
Yeah, because it was not a change of possession.
Yep.
And they're not going to get a play off.
No, they're just going to, clock will run out as we will go to OT.
Well, you want to explain how OT works?
No. Sure. Each team will get the ball.
Well, the first thing they're going to do is
flip a coin.
Flip a coin, absolutely.
That's right. Now, each team will get an opportunity. When you flip the coin, you'll have the choice. If you win the toss, you can choose to be on defense or offense. The strategy is to be on defense first.
Right, so then you know what you have to do, absolutely.
So you win the toss, you say, okay, we'll play defense. The other team will have the ball at the 10-yard line. Or is it, I'm trying to remember, I've watched college overtime. I got my overtime rules here. As soon as they put it down.
I think it's on the 10.
Yeah, I think it's the 10, and they get 4 downs to score.
Right.
And if you fumble the ball and turn it over, your attempt is over with. That's it. And if you kick a field goal, you get that. If you get a touchdown, then the other team gets the same opportunity.
Okay. Also, one thing that's unique about this is both teams will be going the same direction. It's they're both going against the wind. The first team, the other team also go against the wind. And it's not that you change ends of the field like you would normally do. But the first thing is they got to flip a coin, and you hope you win and say, I want to go defense first.
Now we got to talk about our player of the game for each of these teams, and we may want to reserve that.
Backus is heads above everybody else, but he's also already has won it. So has Raphael King. So we're trying to spread it around a little bit. And I think Manny Anderson is the one that we're kind of going with there. Now on the Bruins side, Spade has won one, Franklin has won one. So, you know, you look at Ananias Boyd, Joseph Solomon has done a great job. You know, I kind of, right now, is who I'm headed for.
I got no problem with that.
All right, well, we will state right now that we think this is who it's going to be.
Yeah, let's not make our final decision on this one. We might have a reason for doing otherwise. But I do think Manny Anderson, regardless, since we did already give Alan Backus a player of the game, and in all fairness, we try to spread it around. No argument, Alan Backus has played a great game.
Let's see if we can listen into the official.
All right, gentlemen, shake hands again. Good football game. Good luck to both teams in overtime. Gentlemen, what we're going to do in overtime for your captains. Each team will have an opportunity to score.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go into overtime here at
We'll
Darby
start
Stadium.
from the 10-yard line. Like I said, both teams have an opportunity to score. So if the other team scores first, don't get down because both teams have a chance. All right, and if the defense possesses the ball anytime during that, they can't run it back for a touchdown. The defense can't score. Unless an unusual circumstance, and I'm not going to even get into that. Okay, good luck to both teams. All right, gentlemen? Bethel, you're the visiting team. It's just like the beginning of the game. He calls it. You're going to have three options, gentlemen, and I'm going to explain them to you before we do the toss. You can go on offense or defense, or you can defend a goal. But you generally, whoever's going to call, be on offense or defense. And then we'll decide which end of the field. All right? Y'all understand them? Yes, sir. All right. Bethel, again, that is a tail. That is the head. Got the H on it, okay? Call it in the air loud enough for the umpire to hear, all right? As tails, you've won the toss. You've won the toss. You want what? Defense. All right, which end of the field do you want to play on? And you will be on offense. Not much wind, I mean. It's blowing across the field that way. You want to play on that end of the field? All right, you're going to go get this way. All right. First down going this way, gentlemen. Good luck to both teams again in overtime. Go play down there, guys. Kecoughtan.
A unique point that he brought out that he wasn't going to go into, but defense cannot score. So if you intercept the pass, it doesn't do any good for you to try to run it 80 yards or 90 yards or whatever.
All it does is end your effort to score.
Your possession, right?
So then, again, the strategy is always, I was somewhat taken back by the Bruin captain didn't immediately say defense, defense, because I wouldn't have been able to get it out quickly enough. But you want to be on defense, as Bob already mentioned, because you know what you have to do as a result of that. If you can stop the other team, then you get the ball to the 10-yard line. And then if you need to, and if you can kick a field goal, you win the game.
Right. Now, let's go one more scenario. If this ends up in a tie, they go right back to the middle and flip the coin again. Just because you won it the first time doesn't mean you won it the second time.
I don't know whether they go back to the middle or what they did, but let's hope.
Well, they do. They flip a coin again, so I'm assuming they go back to the middle of the field.
Right. Well, let's hope.
Because that little circle out there, you're supposed to stand in there when you flip the coin.
I want to go to Zooms. I want me some fried chicken, and I want it now. Bruins show the blitz, and Backus. He's got the ball. He is going to be stopped at the 5-yard line. Again, it's 4 downs.
What a nice run for your first down to pick up 5.
Get 4 attempts. It is 4-down territory, needless to say.
I think we will not see the option run.
Yeah, I think.
Well, 2 things. First of all, it's high risk because you pitch the ball. Secondly, you're going east and west instead of north or south.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm sure that Tommy Austin will think twice about calling the option play anytime soon. And this is Backus, and Backus is to the 3-yard line. So it's 3rd down, and again, get 4 downs. After each play, Matt Cross gets a workout. He comes over to the sideline to check with Tommy Austin and the coaches to see what play do you want to call. He's got 25 seconds to snap the ball from the time the ball is set. And I've said this before, and I'll repeat myself, it's a real detriment in high school ball because you don't have a play clock to see.
That's right. You're right.
You just got to hope you've got it in your head correctly. 3rd and goal at the 3. And Backus, 3rd time, gets the call. 4th and goal at the 2.
I mean, it takes you one run to pick up 5 and then 2 runs to pick up 3. That means that defense is zeroing in on, we know the Bacchus is going to go. They may go for the field goal, Tim.
They may have the kicking to do that, and it would appear that Jared Mayo, well, I'm going to say, I correct myself, as Ryan Miller. Ryan Miller tried a long field goal earlier, if you recall.
Yeah.
Had it blocked.
Well, they need to hurry up because that play clock is running.
This will be a 20-yard attempt out of the quarterback's hold. Ryan Miller's kick is too low. It's blocked, and it cannot be returned. All of this is for naught, I believe. It was 4th down, so now the Bruins will have the chance. So not once, but on 2 different occasions, the Warriors couldn't get enough elevation on the field goal attempt.
Yeah. He's hitting the ball almost in the middle. He's not getting in. It's like the chip shots that you hit when you hit it in, not you, just anybody. You hit it in the middle of the ball and then go up in the air. You got to get underneath it, and he's just not doing that.
And that's exactly what my chip shots do.
Well, I didn't want to say you know.
All right.
I was using the.
I know, the euphemism, right? All right. Now the Bruins, and if the Warrior defense can hold, we'll go to another set of downs. This is Ananias Boyd, and he'll not get anything.
And you don't have to worry about a clock, a play clock, a clock running out of time, because they're going to do this until somebody scores some points.
Hopefully soon, because my chicken is waiting for me.
Well, you might want to give Donna a call, tell her to call over to the Zooms, unless I'm sure you probably got it on your speed dial anyway.
Of course. On the play action fake, bootleg, Williams. He gets.
Oh, how did he get away from those people?
And he's still going down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal at the deuce.
How did he was way out.
Well, that's the added dimension that he brings to the Bruins. He has just one of the most elusive runners that I've seen in a long time. Ronald Curry always reminded me that Ronald Curry could just give you an opportunity to tackle him, and he'd take it away from you so quickly you didn't know what to do. Watch this. Now, he is dead.
He's done right here. He can't go anywhere.
Right? No, that's not right. He got all the way to the 2-yard line. All right, short side of the field. He's over center this time. He's got Boyd in the backfield along with Justin Wood. Spends Spate in motion, and Boyd gets the call, and he is stopped for no gain.
None.
It's 4th down. We might be here all night, Bob. 4th down and goal. They've tried a field goal attempt before, and it looks like they may try another one.
I think we have number 15 coming in, Tim. That's Robert Lewis. I've not seen him tonight. Maybe he's going to kick. Or is he the holder? He's the holder.
He's the holder. And he'll hold for a 19-yard field goal attempt to win the ball game. Justin Wood will try it again. And I got to think that Kyle Franklin is not dressed out, because this would be basically an extra point try if he were here. Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good. The Bruins win it overtime.
Oh, my. And the player of the game for the Bethel Bruins is going to go to Joseph Solomon, Tim.
Yep.
So we got Joseph Solomon for the Bruins and Manny Anderson for the Warriors.
And there you don't have to describe what these young men are feeling. These guys gave it their all. The Warriors just miss upsetting the Bethel Bruins, and to the Bruins' benefit, they keep their postseason hopes alive with an incredibly hard-fought victory, a 3-point game.
It was
15-12, the final score. Want to thank our sponsors tonight. The game sponsored by Zooms with 14 Peninsula locations. Also brought to you by Pearls at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. And the game brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where the manager is Nancy Staten.
Oh, what a nice game. If this doesn't excite you, Tim, as a fan, nothing will.
The final score, the Bethel Bruins in overtime, 15 and the Kecoughtan Warriors 12. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and the entire 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.